idea right now who's right for you?
Um,
You still trying to figure it out?
I think we're
Not
all
we're, you,
still trying to
you.
figure
I
it
mean,
out.
we're gonna
Yes, but
everybody
I
gonna
am
speak for
trying to.
themselves.
Yes, I am trying to figure that out.
Okay, so you.
Hey guys, welcome to Little Blackbird 91. Can I be honest with you? Poor Devon out here. He got finished out here. You know what I mean? Like he kind of crashed out. But this episode was an interesting one, right? Because of course, the men got to meet the ladies' friends, which I always think is quite interesting because you get to see energy in a very unique way. But I do feel like with the Devon, Bello, and Cardi situation, I can understand both Dominique and Devon as well, right? Devon, I think, felt the energy shift towards him because I think he started to see the connections that Dominique had. He might have felt a little bit disheveled, but I also can feel Dominique's from perspective as well in terms of just kind of watching him not maybe participate as he could have done in that immediate moment as well. So I think there's some things around that thing, and I want to go a little bit deeper in a few minutes. We also got to see a few other dates along the way. We got to see, Ashanti with Stephen, with Bello, and with also Cardi. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't see the Cardi and Ashanti situation. That ain't going nowhere. I think that's just there to make up numbers, if I'm honest with you. But maybe Bello and Stephen, I can see that a bit more coming into the fray. We know that Bello and Shanti have a deep connection. But it's funny enough, they all said the same thing about Bello, that he seems to be quite political, or at least quite reserved and calm and controlled in that space. It seems like Stephen is a number one for Ashanti. And I think those two actually are quite well matched. It's whether they actually have that spark, though. You know what I mean? Because it looked like Stephen had more of a spark with Lauren at some point. Like I felt the energy with Ashanti, but it felt like his energy was more attracted to Lauren, which is interesting because Lauren didn't seem to have the same level of attraction to. Well, actually, no, I couldn't say that. I think she does in a way, but I think the friends kind of like helped her see that he's not as a assertive person, and that probably is going to end up the finisher in that space, right? So I definitely saw that as well, right? Another dates, a couple's dates, was what I was going on was Mercedes being a friend of with Shona. And I think what was interesting about this date is that all three men did not have her in the top. I never actually could say that they were her top strongest connection. And I'll be honest with you, I don't know if anyone actually did apart from Bello. Bello did say that that Dominique was the strongest connection, but we kind of knew that from before. I don't think anybody really kind of said anybody was their strongest connection, did they? Really and truly, I didn't really see that from anybody who really said they were the strongest connection. So I didn't really see that. But it was, the men gave all very, very general answer, right? Oh, top one of two, top one of three, and I think that was the biggest. I think that was the biggest thing that made everybody. I think that was the biggest thing that made Shannon kind of realize, okay, these men don't really want me because nobody could put me in the top. They've all got me in the top three, and probably, if I'm like everybody honest, these men didn't show her they wanted her. It's just that simple. The men have not come after her. I thought Devon might have done so, but Devon is locked in with Dominique. He wants to win this battle, and to be honest, he ain't gonna win it. Right? Devon should have stuck with someone like Shannon, but he wants to take a risk, and I'm not mad at it. If you want to take a risk, you got to go with it, man. Do you know what I mean? But just recognize if you don't get it, you're gonna be all alone, a million miles away, moving all around. All right, cool. As I said, we're doing a quick summary before we jump into anything crazy as well about the reviews. Let's talk about another triangle that was going on in a second or two once my internet wants to thing. And shout out to Mercedes because she actually called it correctly. None of the men were ready, and I was glad she was able to spot that because that's how I felt. I felt none of the men wanted Shannon. So shout out to Mercedes saving her girl as well. Okay. Let's look at another couple that was happening. Power triple, which was Lauren, Vince. Oh, crap, sorry. And what's his name? Bello, right? Lauren, Vince, Bello, and Steven. I want to be honest with you. Vince is a very funny guy. They pressured him and they said he's the right kind of person for Lauren because he's the only one that's kind of got the attitude for her. I mean, I see what they meant. I'm not against what they said. I get where they were going with it, but I looked at it again for relationally, and I was like, is he the right kind of person for her? Probably not. Probably not. Probably not. You know what I mean? But again, I understand Vince is somebody who doesn't take no crap from nobody. And I think they might, and that, see, for me, yeah, if your friends think Vince is the one to be around, that's probably because your friends are the exact same way that Vince is. Vince got the same kind of energy your friends have got, which is combative. No, we have to call it what it really is. That's why they like Vince. So if I'm gonna call out Vince, I would also have to call out the friends, because the fact that they put him number one, because he was able to stand up for himself and be a little bit more argumentative and pedantic about the answer. Yeah, I said, okay, well, the friends are the exact same way. The friends also like that. They're very sticky, very probably combative, like an argument, you know, gonna go back and forth. Yeah, he gonna fit right in. He gonna fit right in. So yeah, and that's that space as well. But they did say about Steven being a bit not as assertive as she needs in the relationship, which I also understood. I got that. You know, I didn't think Steven was the right person for Lauren anyway. It was never going to work. And then we had Ashley, Darius, and Carde. Let me be real with you. With the Ashley, Darius, and Carde, I need Ashley to bring a different friend. Okay, all right. I need Ashley to bring another friend. All right. Because hey, Mercedes, you're right. Well done on spotting that none of the guys were good for your friend. We appreciate it. You did a good job. You know, I think when we saw Carde, Ashley, and Darius, I wanted Ashley's friend to spot Darius. But the funny thing is, Ashley spotted him. Ashley knows he hasn't got depth right now. My question is, Ashley, are you winning the show or are you getting stuck in the mud? That's my key thing. My key thing is, Ashley, are you spotting Darius and you just trying to get on the end of the show, get your little brand deals or whatever? Or are you, okay, all right, are you going to, you know what I'm saying to you, right, leave this man alone? Because you know that he hasn't got the depth, and then all of a sudden, you know, we're still entertaining him. So I'm hoping. And then we call out Carde for not having much depth, which I agree, probably hasn't got the depth that he needed. Doesn't open up the way he needs to, right? But my thing is, okay, so wait, does Carde have the same level of depth as Darius, or are we saying they're two different types of depth? What are we saying here? You know what I'm saying to you? So my thing is, from Ashley, she's left with not the best choices here, because none of these guys seem to be having much deepness to them. That's going to be an interesting situation for Ashley to navigate in the next few weeks as well. Then I think Carde be gone, so she's going to have to make a choice real quick, because there's going to be a whole bunch of problems, you know? Going to be a whole bunch of problems very soon as well within that. But yeah, Donna, Steven, and Vince. I don't know. It's weird. It was weird because Donna just seems so. I guess maybe she was letting her friends do her friend's job. There was a different Donna that turned up. Yeah, different Donna. Very quiet, very more chilled, very more calm, right? Not as involved as usual. So it was interesting. Yeah, gentle Donna. Yeah, it was a very different Donna we got up there. And so it was weird to kind of see, because we didn't see her usual energy, vibe, bite. She kind of just mellowed down a little bit. Maybe she was, like I said, maybe she was letting her friends kind of talk it out a little bit, but never saw that energy. Stephen did seem to be quite involved with Donna, which was interesting also because I never really saw that in the beginning. I didn't see them as having that spark. And I'm questioning whether Stephen has a spark with anybody at this point. I'm not saying that he doesn't find people attractive, but I'm wondering if Stephen has any spark from any of the ladies at this point in time. It all seems like very cool. You know what I mean? And of course, then Vince obviously was there, and you know they had a little bit of a laugh and a joke as well. And I wasn't really seeing that in Too Tough. You get me? I wasn't really seeing that in Too Tough. You get me? With Vince and Donna, you know. So it was always interesting that particular perspective. I can't lie, interesting on that respect. But again, I'll go deeper a little bit later on, and then we'll focus on our last one. Right? We're gonna focus on our last one. Okay. We're going play a little bit of this clip here and break this down a little bit because I felt for Devon.
Time with these two ladies. They know what I like. They know what I need, and they're gonna get to the.
Dom is always such a good time, and I know her friends are going to be bringing lights, camera, actions to the party.
What do you think is incredible about her?
I think that her personality and how deep she is.
Now, here's the interesting thing about the situation, yeah. I find it interesting because I don't see Carde and I don't see Dominique working. Not even a slightest bit. I didn't even see it. Can't lie to you. I know they talk about all the fun things, blah 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 blah, but I don't see it. I think Carde finds her attractive, sexually attractive, you know, likes her a lot, but I didn't see it. I didn't see it coming at all. I think Carde has the look, but the pizzazz, the energy, I don't see it. You know what I mean? And how do you wrestle when a man's kissing up the girl and the way they're hugging each other?
Dominique is my top connection, and I have a strong connection with her. So I'm a little anxious, like I always am before these dates.
So these are two of my best friends. Anytime I'm around these women, I am in good hands. They're gonna take care of me. They're gonna nurture me. They're gonna love me.
Is that something you can see yourself doing with Dominique?
Ooh, well, there we have it.
So it's other women you are connecting with too, right? Do you have in mind that this is the one?
I would say we're trying to decide who's right for us.
Oh, so do you have an idea right now who's right for you? You're still trying to figure it out.
I think we're
Not
all
we're, you,
still trying to figure it out.
Yes,
but I am trying to. Yes, I am trying to.
I don't think there's anything wrong with his answer. I'm going to be real with you. He said nothing wrong. He said nothing wrong. When he said that to the friends, I'm still trying to figure it out, there's nothing wrong with that answer. I'm going to tell you why it's nothing wrong with that answer. Because you got me sitting here with two other Negroes. I'm sorry. You ain't figured it out yourself. But here's the truth. Here is the realest truth. Here is the realest truth. Okay? Here's the realest truth. You don't like that man. So when you don't like that man, you can't give him any kind of grace. And don't think that Dominique hasn't told her friends who Devon is and who Carde is and who Bello is. Right? And you know what I'm saying to you? And this is what I'm saying, that as men, we need to pay attention. When someone doesn't want you, they don't desire you in the right way, they don't make any excuses for you. They're looking for reasons to cut you. And Devon's answer of saying we're all trying to figure it out, we're all trying to feel what's going on, we're all trying to, you know, decipher our thing, was a great answer, because we are. Because there's three people here. You got three men in a room. Okay, so you crashing out and saying what you're saying don't make no sense.
Figure that out.
Okay, so you don't know yet. You're still trying to
That's
figure
what the
it out.
process is.
Hello, how you doing?
Well, how did? This is so fun.
I walk in and the tension was so thick. I don't know what.
Now I don't know about you. I don't know if they're editing or what, but the way they cut the shot to make Dominique crackling and laughing when Bello came in, my energy would drop too. My energy would shift too. You know, my energy would also be shifted too. Because what do you mean? You smiling and cackling like there's nobody tomorrow, blood. That should tell you who number one is. And that should also tell the other men who really she wants. Okay. All right. So that should tell you where she stands. And it's not a beef. She's allowed to stand the way she stands. We're not mad at that. You can stand how you stand. I see you, C-Way. You can stand how you want to stand.
What I walked into.
You handsome and all, you know, you smell good. I want to know about you.
Okay. I can say confidently that there's a big difference between attraction and chemistry. You can look at somebody and appreciate them, and then you look at somebody and you're drawn to them, right? And that's how I feel about Dominique.
You're drawn to her.
But are you attracted to some more women?
Now, you see how Dominique was like, listen, at that point, we already know that who you want. So that's why the energy is shifting. You know what I'm saying to you? That's why the energy is shifting. Because again, Dominique is responding to everything that Bello says. He said, oh, you know, I feel like she's, she looked good and I'm drawn to her. And Carde go and jump on the same thing. Okay, Carde go and jump on the same thing that Bello said, but Devon doesn't say much, right? And shout out to Devon because there's no need to say anything because again, it's up to her what she wants.
That's on the show as well.
And I made that distinction for a reason. Because of the other ladies, I don't have that spark as I do with Dominique.
Okay. Okay, now. All right.
I feel to kind of like piggyback on what he said. Dom and I have always had like a strong connection, really since day one. I was really kind of curious, like, what more is it to her? And sitting down and then laughing, it's just like, oh, you know.
I am very pleased with Carde and Bello.
I'm sure she is because she got the wrapped around her finger. You know what I mean? And I'm not mad at it. The game is a game. You know what I'm saying to you? All right. So I'm not mad at this. Okay. I'm not mad at that at all. You know, I think, you know, as these men did, they said their truths about how they feel about Dominique and how they feel and how they felt was, you know, she is someone who calls you and you feel drawn to her. You want to be attracted to her. Like you know, and I can see it. You know, that girl's fine. Let's be honest. That woman is fine. And she knows how to play the game. She knows how to make you feel good. You know, she's a master curator of making you feel like, as somebody said in the chat, number one. So we can't be mad at that. She's got an incredible skill. Okay, play with her if you want to and see if you don't lose, because girl has got it. Okay.
Because if you become my man, then you're gonna be around my friends, and I need to know that you can fit in.
What more would you want to know about Dominique? Is she the type of woman you're looking for?
Yeah.
Okay.
Dominique is the type of woman that most men are looking for.
You're talking about you.
Yes. She is the type of woman that I'm looking for. She's grounded. She's mature.
It sounds like he knows the qualities that he wants. But like, how do you find that?
Are you really listening to him? No, it sounds like he really knows what he wants.
Devon came in like a great.
I don't know what the friends were asking. It doesn't even make sense. The editing seems a bit off here. I can't lie to you. They said it sounds like he knows what he wants. It sounds like he knows what qualities are. I must not be hearing correctly because I'm confused. That's why I said the editing kind of did him dirty here. I don't know what else they want from him. Like, what else you want?
Back on what he said, Dom and I have always had like a strong.
What you want to know about Dominique? Is she the type of woman you're looking for?
Yeah.
Okay.
Dominique is the type of woman that most men are looking for.
You're talking about you.
Yes. She is the type of woman that I'm looking for. She's grounded. She's mature.
It sounds like he knows the qualities that he wants. But like, how do you find that?
Are you really listening to him? No, it sounds like he really knows what he wants.
Devon came in like a.
So something's not quite right because if and it's interesting because the two friends had different points of view, and it's because they're operating on information, and so one friend is probably better than the other one in terms of vetting men, because the other one seems like she's already got her clause in who she needs to be in, because you heard the thought process, and then you flipped it. Does he sound like he really knows what he wants? Yeah. He said it. But like I said, when you know that that person's not the one that your friend wants, or that the one that Dominique has already we've shown that she doesn't want him really and truly, this is never gonna work. Okay, this is never gonna work. This ain't gonna happen, bro.
Great cloud. He came in gloomy, and my friends, they like beasts. They could smell the meat, they could smell the blood, and he came in there with open wounds, and they attacked instantly.
If anything, I feel like this setup is throwing me off because Cardi's over there with my girl, and I'm like, how do I take this?
Okay, so now you say Cardi's over here sitting with your girl, right?
Mhm.
But 2 minutes ago, it gave me a little bit of,
Gave you a little bit of what?
I need a person who gonna love me out loud. I understand the process, but speak how you speak about me, how you talk to me. I need somebody to stand on business about me, because I'm gonna stand
I
on
feel
business
like,
about
listen, I need to reset.
What has she said about Devon? No. What has she said about Devon? Because I don't know. You know what I'm saying to you? Like, what did she said? You know? What she said? Bro, they both haven't really said anything. Do you get what I'm saying to you? And this is where this is where I say, listen, don't get drawn in. Okay? So I'm saying, don't get drawn in. All right, Devon, this is where you have to back up and back away. You see, when someone wants to draw you in, because really what they want to lock you in, they want you to be locked in. Yeah, because we ain't heard you publicly come out and say you want Devon like that. Publicly. No, confessionals, we all hear what everyone says on confessionals. Everybody says stuff on confessionals. When have we heard her publicly be like, yeah, Devon, da-da-da-da? I ain't really heard it. You know what I'm saying to you? I ain't never heard that. So really and truly, what she's asking for, and this is where men and women have to pay attention to, when someone doesn't really want you, but they want to lock your energy in, they want to lock you in so they can play with you, this is what happens. So Devon, unfortunately, is now become a paperweight. Okay? You've become a paperweight. Yeah? Because right now, you're playing her game. I'm not even mad at it. At the end of the day, the game is a game. Ready to Love is a game. And if you're willing to be used on Ready to Love, I can't even be mad at you, right? Like, Devon has to get smarter, bro. You have to get smarter, my guy. Because you're playing with somebody who's an expert in the game, who's dragging three men into a room, and now she's about to lambast you because you're not giving her the public PDA. Because you said that you're not gonna. We're all choosing what we're choosing. That's where it started from. And now she's saying you better stand on business. Well, has she stood on business? Because I don't know if she even wants him. I don't know.
For a second, because the energy is really weird that I'm getting right now.
I don't feel bad for Devon. I knew that there was going to be questions and there was going to be intent based off how they were wearing their jackets. It's like they had their hands outside of the sleeves, and the confidence seemed to be lacking just a skosh.
I don't want you to feel uncomfortable, but that's...
Well, the confidence might need to up, though. He might need to up that confidence a little bit. You know what I'm saying to you? All right. But again, Devon has to pay attention. She already denied the kiss earlier on. So you know what I mean? Like, she already denied the kiss, my guy, and she hasn't tried to kiss you since. Bro, that's a telltale sign it ain't gonna happen. You know? That's a telltale sign. Bro, if you try to kiss that girl and that girl hasn't tried to kiss you back since, it's a telltale sign it ain't going the way you think it's going. You know what I'm saying to you? So I'm just saying, like, you got to pay attention also to the signs. If I got to tell our good sis Nicole to pay attention, then you got to pay attention. You know, you got to pay attention too. You got to have your head on a swivel, because it don't make sense that you're going to allow yourself to get whipped up, beaten up on this interview when there's two other men with you, blood. You got Bello out here feeling smug. Look at my man's face.
The part about this, I want to see who can stand in the heat with the
Well, I can stand in the heat, but what's the insinuation that I don't love you out loud.
Sitting here with the people who matter the most to me, they want to know. If you like me like that, then say you like me like that. I need to know. I need that.
You know how much I like you, but I'm going
Tell
to say
them.
that.
I was very annoyed at the energy that was coming across the table. Going home was a strong possibility given my performance.
And I get it. I get why Devon was pissed off. You know, I get why he's pissed off. Like, bro, like we're all doing the same thing. We're all playing games here, bro. Like, you know what I mean? You want me to love you out loud? Love me out loud. Love me. Love me. Love me. Like, tell me innit? Yeah, tell me. But this is what I'm trying to say. When you're a paperweight, this is what happens. Okay? When you're a paperweight, it's the exact same thing happens. Brother, you've got to get out of there, brother. Okay? When you're a paperweight, all you can do, all right, is hold paper. No more weight than that. Okay? All right?
Here, and I didn't feel good about the day at all. I hope I can recover from that, honestly.
Apparently she don't know it. We don't know it. That's why we sitting here. Because guess what? My decision is what's gonna matter. I'm her soulmate.
Yeah.
Baby, you got to come in that room a little bit more confident. My friends are sitting right here. So if you're going to be confused about how you feel about me right now, then it's time for you to go.
I don't think he's confused. He just want to tell you. But soulmate, you know what's so funny? I was on I don't want to say it, insinuate anything, but I was on a live on TikTok today, and there was a woman that confessed that she had slept with her best friend. That's a girl, but it was a drunken night and one time only. Nothing ever happened again, and they've just been good friends ever since. Soulmate, sis. Soulmate. We're moving kind of wild out here. Is there something I need to know? Is there something I need to know? Just let me know if there's something I need to know, because it sounds like we need to know. I'm just saying. I've never called a friend a soulmate. I'm just saying. I mean, who calling friends soulmates? You got a soulmate in the friendship? Let me know. Let me know if you called any friend a soulmate. I'm just saying. You might need to be a little bit concerned. I'm not saying that's what it is. Okay? I'm not saying that's what it is. I'm just saying that, you know, I've just never heard of friendship soulmates. You know what I'm saying to you? I just never heard of that. Do you know what I mean? But what I have heard is people do stuff in the dark. Soulmates is interesting. Okay. All right. So I'm just, you know, I'm just open to possibilities. That's what I'm telling you. You know what I mean? I'm open to possibilities. Okay. All right. So I ain't gonna say nothing too crazy. Okay, but let me know what you guys' thoughts are in that space as well. Before I get a few of the panelists on to come on and share their thoughts. But I'm just saying, man, soulmates. Oof. Oh, baby. You just got to be aware that you get me. Okay, before the panelists come on, I just want to take another look at one of the upper conversations. I want to go a little bit earlier because I think, like I said, I which one was it? Sorry, I just realized. Let's go Mercedes. Shout out to her. Appreciate you, Mercedes. Yes, it was the interaction, Lauren. I found the Lauren situation kind of interesting because I felt like I don't know what was going on with this situation.
So let's say I am 5'11".
Okay.
What are we talking about?
We want to know your height.
Just answer the question.
Right.
If it's 6'2", it's 6'2".
I know, but I mean, I want to know like where we're going with this.
Well, one, she's a taller woman.
She is.
Correct. 6 feet. And so she also loves to wear heels. So now we're adding a few
I don't know what the point of the pointless ass conversation the friends were having with him. Pointless. You watched him come into the place. You know how tall he is. Okay, all right. I don't know what the asking was for. Like it was nonsense. It was crazy. It was silly. It was stupid. I don't get it. What were we doing? Why are we asking these kind of questions? You saw him walk into the room. I'm just like, what? Like, are we honestly spending time asking about heights? You know, I'm not saying they didn't ask any other questions. I don't know why we wasted time asking about heights. Then they could have been asking about a whole bunch of other things. This was not important.
Inches.
6'3",
So
6'4".
is that something that like some men are weird about that?
Oh, so
I can't lie. She's fine. Her friend is fine.
your question is do I mind her height?
No. Our question is, how tall are you? It's really lighthearted. We were just asking how tall you are. That's it.
Okay, but it's the same answer.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're not mad at it.
The energy during this exchange is horrible.
The problem is that Vince likes to argue, man. Okay, all right. Vince likes to argue. He likes a debate. He likes to be pedantic. He likes a back and forth. You know, I think, you know, he likes to be able to kind of rustle up feathers and stuff. And I think to myself, after a while, okay, bro, after a while, let's leave it alone. Okay, like, bro, let's leave some of that stuff alone. Okay. Now, then I say that, I think it might be because also he's on the spectrum. You know what I mean? Like, the way he arguing is like so matter of fact. I start to realize some people just some people just on the spectrum, bro. Like, that's what it is, you know? But you can't be arguing every single time you get into a place. Like, after a while, it becomes unattractive and it becomes something that repels people. So I'm not a biggest fan of that kind of stuff. If every single conversation seems to be an argument with you, like, eventually you're going to have to grow up. Eventually, you're going to have to do something a little bit more different. Eventually, you have to do something that's going to be actually unifying rather than disunifying, you know? But yeah, it's annoying, you know? If you just answer the question, it would have been over, you know? Let me bring my panelists on this.
I am literally so embarrassed.
I have to get out of here. I really, really appreciate you guys' time.
It was a pleasure. It's a pleasure.
Yeah.
Very colorful.
Oh. Okay, I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take that.
I don't know what happened, but why they put him as number one, I don't know. Like, I must have missed something. You know what I mean? Like, how you put Vince as number one, but you know, then later on we see in the next episode, Lauren's saying something about her friends, and he's I think he was saying something about her friends. I think he was calling her out about her friends. But I was just like, they've got him as number one. I said, really? And I said, the show must be editing it again very badly and not showing us the rest of the conversations. You know? So, yeah, I don't know. It was weird. A bit of a weird one. But anyway, let me get some people on to have this conversation with, discussing this episode, because, you know, this episode was interesting and, was intriguing. Hey, girls, how we doing? You all right? Yeah.
I'm muted. Hey.
Hello.
Hello.
Man, what do you guys think of the episode, man? What did you think?
I'll let Elsa go.
It was a waste of my time because nobody got eliminated. I'm sorry. I don't like these episodes where people don't get eliminated. I don't like it because all of a sudden next week, like, we don't know who is gone. All I know is that Carde and Devon aren't in the previews for next week. So the two of them on the bottom, we don't know who is sent home. But I need Devon to remain because I need him to see Dominique and Bello in the retreat. But that's just my toxic trait and behavior.
I feel this was a really solid episode, minus us not knowing who went home. I was entertained literally all the way through. I didn't skip, and so that's a good sign for me. So I watched it all the way through. I stayed awake. I didn't fall asleep. So it was good to me. Ready to dive in?
Well done, babe. We appreciate you, and I know it's not easy. So God bless you for sticking with it. Staying awake for it. Okay. All right. We'll start chronologically. We'll go with Ashanti, Stephen, and the Bello connection first and foremost. Then, so you guys can have a little bit of a clip.
About our last argument.
Are you talking about the X date? Okay, well, at the X date, there was a heated moment between Ashanti and Day. And really within that moment, though, too, it was a lot that was going on.
How did you deal with it?
I let everybody pretty much talk. I tried essentially my best to make sure that I could try to switch up the situation.
All right. So, sorry, I've got a bit closer. I know you want a bit further. Bello, Stephen, Carde, the date between the three of them. As much as I love the date, I don't know if we got that much more information in regards to that, in that essence. But what did you guys, ladies, garnish from this, this section of conversation and dates? It was a nice little date. It was a little painting date, kind of cute. What did you garnish from the situation? What did you guys garnish? Who would like to go first?
Elsie.
Why are you volunteering me back on it? I'm trying to engage in the chat, and you're like, Elsie. Daggone it. You're making me a paperweight. So for this one, I like the fact that Ashanti's friend called out Bello's lie. That he just telling you that, girl. He gonna want you to convert. Carde lying, saying that he wrangled everybody and tried to get it to stop. No, we didn't see it. At least we didn't see it. Okay, Stephen. This whole episode, Stephen fell for me. So he started playing here for me. And he just kept on playing for the rest of the episode. So Stephen dropped a notch for me in this episode. By the time we get to the end, y'all will understand why. But I didn't, the date was fine. I thought it was cute with her friends and stuff, but none of the men rose to the occasion, at least for me.
Yeah, I just wish we had some character development on what happened between Stephen and Ashanti, because in the beginning, remember, we were all talking about they may go the distance. They're so cute, and all we really seem to get from her is like she wants more romance, but like that doesn't seem to really explain what the disconnect is. I would love to know the disconnect or what kind of happened along the way, because they were really cute. And it just seems like he just don't really give much. He be kind of blah. I mean, isn't he the one who did like the inside joke, the little like his painting was so that was cute. So you could tell they have a connection, but I was really rooting for Stephen to give us more, and he seems to be falling flat. And I know Ashanti, she's kind of too cool for school too. She doesn't give a whole lot either, and maybe that's the issue. Like they both are kind of like real chill, and maybe somebody has to give a little bit more. I don't know, because they're both very cool, calm, collected type of vibe type people. So
he said he got to put in effort with her.
He said he's been trying to put in effort with her.
No, he has to. With the ex date, when he spoke to his ex, he said he knows he has to put in more effort with Ashanti if he were to date her. It would require more effort.
The energy, like wasn't he on Lauren's date and he was calling her his wife or something? He was giving a little bit more energy on some of those other dates. And
that's what we get into. With Lauren, she said she gonna give me a girl, and then he was giving Donna his last name. Stephen was playing this whole episode.
So I was like, wait, I thought that Ashanti would be your number one, but he's giving a lot more energy to the other women. And it still was kind of blah, if you ask me. But I'm like, I was kind of surprised. Yeah, Donna too. He was giving a lot of energy to. So I'm completely lost. Carde. I mean, he was just there.
Carde was copy and pasting this whole episode. Yeah, everybody got a single rose.
Copying and pasting. And was she the one the date where it seemed like her friend wanted to? No, that's not one of the dates. It looked like the friend wanted to be with Bello. That's not this date. That's the other date, right? Who had the Muslim friend?
Yeah, that's
her
it.
Shante, yes.
Oh
when
yeah,
they said
That friend
Assalamu
looked
alaikum.
that friend looked like she was interested in Bello, child. But Bello is just, he's copying and pasting too.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like some of the people who I would think would be like the biggest catches on this show, they don't seem to be finding, connections. It's kind of, I don't know. So.
No, I definitely hear you. I think with Carde, they called him out over the way he handled the friendship thing, because he didn't handle it very well, right? And he tried to play it off like he handled it quite well, and then he separated people. From what we saw, it was drowning. You know what I mean? And it was drowning in trying to handle all the different voices to a point where Ashanti felt offended, right? I'm sure the other ladies felt offended too by the friend, which is the ex or whatever. So that's the whole situation in itself. They actually called out Bello for being almost too controlled. And I think obviously Bello, because Bello knows where he's going. He's going with Dominique. So, I'm not even too mad that he was very controlled, because I think he's made his decision as to who he's going to be fully invested in. And that does come with the territory, right? Sometimes you're in the process because you have to keep people in the process to be able to stay in the game. So I understand why his energy would have been more robotic, as it was with also, who was the other person? Lauren, was it? Lauren as well? They also called him out for being controlled too, which is interesting because we see a different Bello when it comes to Dominique, right? So I get it. Like, I get why they were calling him out. Steve, you're right. I do wish they had more character development. I wish they had, and we keep saying it this season. Listen, WAITLIST have done a good one on Detroit. It's actually been a really good season. What I need them to capitalize on for next season is story development. I don't know who you need to fire, and I don't know who you need to hire, but you need to do what you need to do. Yeah. I know you make that face, but I know they watch my thing. Fire who you need to fire, and hire who you need to hire.
Not in this economy.
Oh no, in this economy.
But Kojo has a point. Remember when we all first met? El said, "This predates you." I don't think you were on the panel yet, and it was the Houston season with Kyra and
COVID season.
Yeah, we were able to get, I know that wasn't like the first season that we reviewed, but we were able to get all of the character development with those characters. That's how people got so wrapped up. What's his name? I don't even remember if he was a good guy or a bad guy, or if that lady who was a lot more reserved.
Winter. Was it Winter? Winter Simone. That was Winter Simone season, wasn't it?
I'm thinking the one with the older lady.
Oh no, that was season. Was that season after? Because Kyra season, that's not the same season, is it? Kyra season.
No, it was the season after Kyra, when they came out of the resort.
Jason, with Jason, with Jason.
Oh, Jason and yeah.
I think we were able to get very invested in who they were, and or at least who we thought they were, and like just their interactions. If he should really go at the end, like it was actually climactic at the end, because we were like, okay, should he be with her? Liz, thank you guys. Should Liz stay with him? Now, I mean, I just don't know what we're getting. We just can't get to know these people. Yeah, the Christian lady. We just can't get any idea of these people. And then that's the reason why I think they're making all of these like side podcasts. Everybody got a podcast. Everybody got a review, because they're trying to provide context to the context that we don't have. And really, we shouldn't need all of these side podcasts. We should be able to get some of this context from the actual show that we're watching. And that just doesn't appear to be there. Because I would have loved to know what kind of happened with Ashante and Steven, and how all of a sudden Steven is over there now with Donna and her blazer and what's his face. And then, why Vince is even at a date with someone he called the B word. You get what I'm saying? So this is a lot going on.
Well, she forgave him.
I thought she forgave him as a person, as a human being, not as like a, you know what I'm saying? Like, I forgive you, like we ain't got beef. Not that we together. I didn't get that.
Okay.
I mean,
no, I definitely hear that.
That's what I got.
Definitely hear that. Yeah, and as people keep saying, there was more so the solo dates and stuff like that. So yeah, I feel like we're having a lot more group dates and stuff, which is maybe they're looking for more carnage, but we're not getting those solo dates, which those solo dates brought enough issues in itself anyway, because people are human beings. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. Hire and fire who you need to do. Okay, all right, hire and fire. Get rid of the people that are not doing a job. Get the people that are doing a job. Get them into doing the storytelling. Let's go back to basics. We used to have at the very beginning of the season. You know what they stopped doing? And this is what happens. Sometimes you lose your way. I've been there. Sometimes you lose your way, right? In the beginning, when Ready to Love started, we would have the first episode would be a background of everybody. So you'd get a little opening scene, then there'll be their confessional. They'll tell you about themselves. You know what I mean? And you get all 20 people that first episode. So you have a good amount of information, background. People are telling you that they cry over this man or whatever. We'd have all that information at the very beginning. Now we skip that. We go straight into they meet at the mixer and it starts. And they've skipped an important step, which we get with Love is Blind a lot, and so it just means it makes it harder for us to invest in these characters the way we need to. So I know they listen, so I'm hoping they're taking some notes that you start doing that. Maybe you've already filmed next season, but the season after that, my friends, please, I beg, let's do something different.
Well, it took 10 years for them to stop eliminating people on the first mixer, so.
You know what? At this point, I'll take the elimination on first mixer if we can go back to storytelling. I promise you. At this point, because it feels like we're missing stuff. You know what I mean? But
yeah. Let's go back to the resort one good time.
Let's go back to they should have had that was the formula. The resort was the formula. If they do a Ready to Love resort, they'll win because then you get all the camera. Remember, people were running down the corridor. That was amazing. That was amazing.
Well, we're never getting that again until we go back on lockdown. That was epic.
Well, anything can happen at this point.
My sister from another mister is here. Hey, Jay.
What up, boots? Not too much of my Steven now. Not too much of my Steven, okay?
I got a lot for him today. Sorry.
You can have a lot to say. You got a lot to say about everybody, so ain't nobody worried about what your say is. You gonna find something wrong with everybody. Ain't worried about you. Not too much of Steven,
What I will say is compliment him. Let me compliment him now before I read him later. He stopped wearing the oversized sweaters. He looked good.
Not too much of my Steven. Okay, we're just gonna keep it cute. He obviously likes the same color I do. We good. Storytelling, yes, we need to get back to storytelling. Unlike us said, I wasn't too mad at the episode. Left on a cliffhanger. I really didn't care at this point. They just be doing whatever at this point. So it's like whatever. They trying to stretch this out as much as possible because as we can see, don't nobody want nobody on this daggone thing. Everybody just here.
That's true.
Wasting everybody's time. Because at this point, when we start meeting people and we still got 4, 5, 6 connections out of the 6, what the hell? What the hell? Why are we still? This is the most I've ever seen of all the seasons that we come into, like with 90% of the women having 3 or more people at the table. And then the men still at the same numbers themselves. Talking about, I'm not sure. This is my 2 out of 6, my number 3 out of 5. Like what? We only started with 10 people each. I'm so confused.
The season full of baddies, Jay, and it still didn't matter.
Hey.
Well,
I mean, this is
got a lot of scammers. I mean, it really ain't a lot on the other side. There's a lot of scammers.
It ain't. Yes, this is true. And listen, you got to choose the one best scammer there is. You know what I'm saying? This is actually I liked it because this is actually what real world dating look like. We don't narrow it down that fast. I'm sorry. Some of us still be years in trying to narrow it down. You know what I'm saying? So there it is. So hey, I felt seen.
You moving mad, Jay?
All right, let me stop.
No, but I get you and I hear you. And I definitely hear that. Okay, well let's move on to the next set of group dates that happened as well. Mercedes was helping her friend to decipher through the man them and who was the right kind of person for
Living alive.
I would say out of my 4 connections, Shannon has climbed her way as 1 and 2.
All of the men really say the
Steve's
same
face is
thing,
killing
like
me.
top 2, top 3, and for me, that's a problem.
So do you have children? Ever been married?
I've never been married, actually.
Mercedes' face was like, okay. Okay. How do we feel about this one? Because Shannon was, you know, they say 1 or 2, but she was never the one. So, you know, it seemed like everybody had, you know, her in a, you know, 1, 2, or 3. Oh, 2, 3, or 2 or 3. They didn't seem to be committed to her. They seem to be very cool with her, but not necessarily actually wanting her and desiring her as well. What do you people think about this particular date as well? Who said some very, I don't want to say heinous things, but who said some things that were a bit off, you know, in this situation? What did you?
Wait, what you mean? Said something off?
Because I thought like who was it? Sorry, was it not Darius? He's one of there was Devon. Devon was saying about, what was he saying? Oh my god, I got my notes.
Wait, this was the date with Shannon.
Yeah, he had 4 out of the 6 women.
Yeah, he had 4 out of 6 women. Stephen she was 3 out of 5. She was number 3 in his top 3, and she climbed up Darius' ladder somehow.
But Darius also has 4.
Oh Lord, jeez.
Well, I'll say
And
this.
then-
Go ahead.
Go for it. I was just going to say, the thing I was saying was that then Devon said he can't make a choice within 6 months, or he had to wait a year, and that was what both him and Stephen agreed with. And she said, you know, almost like saying like, you know, you got to make a decision quick kind of thing. But that was all I was going to add. But yeah,
I thought Stephen was trying to. I'm sorry, Seaway.
He changed it then after he says, "Oh yeah, well actually in a year, I think I would know if I want to marry." He just goes with where the wind blows him.
Who is that? Who just goes? Because I was like, I swear Stephen said it's about a year before he decided on marriage or whatever and stuff like that. So I didn't see, because I thought he told that to Donna when they were sitting down on their one-on-one like a couple of weeks ago too.
Yeah, Stephen said that, and then Devon turned around after he said that was an impossible question to answer. Then miraculously, 5 seconds later, it was a possible question to answer, because then he was like, "Oh yeah, a year."
He just didn't want to say what he wanted to say, which was he didn't want to.
Yeah, I mean, what I have to think about this scene is this is just kind of a microcosm of, I think, about what very intelligent, beautiful Black women have to deal with. Shannon shouldn't really even be in this type of situation to begin with, but here she is. I was really, really happy that Mercedes, one, went through the process, had discernment and common sense, and kind of reminded her friend that she doesn't have to be top 3 with any of these dudes. I think these guys, and I think Devon is going to kind of experience the downfall of this, have a little bit too much dip on their chip, because I think they have a lot of options. Personally, in the real world, I feel like Shannon would be a prize for them, but because there's so many beautiful women and options that they have right now, they don't feel very pushed to pick. And I think Devon, Stephen would have been better served if they would have locked in on maybe 1 or 2 people that were in their range, and then, or above their range, and try to aim for that. But instead, they're over here trying to do everything. And that's not, they're going to end up losing, because a person like Shannon is going to be reminded, well, I don't even have to be here messing with y'all anyway. And I think that's what's going to happen. The Devons and the Stevens have a lot of dip on their chip right now. They have a lot of dip on their chip. And I'm glad that Shannon, you know, was not thirsty and realized that, like, I actually don't need any of you guys. So that's my thought.
I have a question. Why did Shannon have to have all of them in a lineup? Because everybody kind of had a rotation where folks had like a little bit of one-on-one. At least Lauren's were a lot of one-on-one. One man dipped in, one man dipped out. But I understand they should already have a top 2, and the way they were dancing around, they didn't want to show, I thought they didn't want to show their hand in front of the other men, because they know talk is going to go back to people, and they don't want to eliminate and say, Shannon is their number one, and then it comes around, and then all of a sudden the other ladies, cross them off. So I just think it was a strategy, good strategy, no, because Shannon also needed to, feel like secure with at least one of them. But I could understand not telling the whole story.
I mean, if Shannon needs to feel secure, at least one of them, that means that one of them needs to step up. Regardless, if you in front of your competition and you like me, you like me. What the next man got to do with you sitting here? Like, you know what I'm saying? So if that's where they were at, if any of them felt like they was their number one, and that was genuine, that was the best time to say it. It's the fact that we're all sitting here and none of y'all could actually say that, because none of them feel like that's their number one. It's really because we keep having a whole bunch of group dates on this again, and I don't know if they're having individual dates, but we're seeing a bunch of group dates again. We strayed away from the individual dates of it all. I can't the date that she had by herself with anybody outside of Mixer sitting down one-on-one with people.
No, it was group date or group date at her house, group date at the go-kart racing, group date at the skating rink. It was group upon group.
Exactly. So like, this is a producer failure. You know what I'm saying? Like, the producers is in control of this, a part of it and stuff like that. And I'm not sure Mercedes is here. Hey, baby girl. But I'm not sure if it was a timing on Mercedes having to be gone or something like that. Why she was about the only one that had literally all of them at the same time for the whole time, or the producer just thought, hey, let's just throw them all up in there and see what happens. I don't know, but this is on the producers, because I'm tired of this group dating thing when we're supposed to be making one-on-one connections. This is why we all here having 3-4 connections at the table.
Hi, everybody. How are you?
Hey,
Mercedes, you all right?
Hey, thank you for having me up, Kojo.
Come on, it's a blessing, man. It's been a minute.
Always. We say always a good time to be in the conversation.
That's right. That's right. You've got the inside scoop, sis. So
I'll do it this way. If you guys have any questions, I will try to give you some clarity, because I don't want to give away too much. And we can talk backstage as well.
Of course.
Because I'm only sidebarring. This wasn't my process, so.
I understand that.
Yeah.
I appreciate you. Well, I mean, Jay was asking the question, which was the whether if you had to go or something. Is that why they put all 3 men at the same time?
So,
obviously, you wouldn't have known anyone else, but yeah.
Yeah. So the way that it actually was set up was it was staggered. They don't get to kind of show that, but there was a time where I had them to themselves at some point. So I believe it was Darius walked in first. There was at least a 15 to 20 minute buffer between the next man that walked in. And then one would leave first. So I did have individual time to sit down with these men, quote unquote, if you want to consider it that. So my analysis was, I would say, thorough. They just kind of edited it in a way where you only get to see, this chunk. But it was a pretty long date, too. I sweated my hair out, as y'all can see, from the start to the finish. So we were there a long time.
Your hair looked good. You didn't look like
no, you see the walk in the door versus where we were at by the end. It is a completely different edge. Girl, it was gone.
I did not notice. I thought
it was hot. It was hot.
But look how good editing did.
Yeah, it was very hot.
Editing does edit your edges back together.
Yeah, they can. I don't think they can do that. They can't make the wigs look good. So I think
with AI, and if it's possible, but go for it. See where you are. I think you're gonna ask a question.
I have 2 questions. One, did you feel like compared to your season that these men kind of had a lot of dip on their chip compared to a lot of seasons? I mean, there's a lot of beautiful women on this season, and it seems like they're just like, I just have my pick. But that's how it feels from just watching it. Is that the vibe that you got about these guys?
See, wait, I do have to agree with you, but can I say that that's the tale as old as time with every season? So I would say we had a pretty fine cast as well. We had Morgan, we had Marcia, we had Corvea, we had a very quote unquote beautiful cast as well. And the men had a lot of chip on their dip. And I'm not saying that people weren't putting their stuff in the queso and in the salsa and in the salsa verde, but they did it they either did it behind the scenes, because you see, they still chose each other, but look at all of the mess. There were people who messed with multiple people throughout that season, but they were not afraid to step up and say, oh, hey, Morgan is my top, even though he slept with the girl from the first mixer. You feel me? So I'm like, it's not that they're not sampling the dips. It's a buffet. You're supposed to go down. You're supposed to look and see if you like that. But you also should be able to say, man, that macaroni was hitting, and that's what I want right now. Like, if you said, oh, the chicken, oh, the prime beef, oh, the rib is just so good, and the shrimp skewers, like, pick one.
I'm a foodie. What you want me to do?
Y'all did have a baddie
That's
cast.
why you're not on this show. You didn't come in and say that that's what you wanted.
But it seemed like y'all had a baddie cast, and it caused more love triangles or drama. This I feel like this season, extreme baddie cast, and everyone's just kind of like, I'm gonna sit back. I ain't got to choose. Like, they're
Can
just
I
gonna
say?
be waiting.
I'm
Go
sorry,
ahead.
Seaway. Can I say this though, as somebody that does have a child from somebody from the D? This is from dealing with him and being around like his people and friends and all this stuff like that. They kind of just lay back. They really are just like laid back type people. And I know Seaway gonna start her sassy apocalypse with it, but they do in some regards look for women to chase them. They have a lot of beautiful women out there. And so I think they're just like a little bit intimidated to the fact that they don't want the rejection of it all. So they kind of wait for the woman to say, I like you, and then start making a move. So it might be a bit of that at play, because Detroit does have a lot of beautiful women.
I just want to say that Sean wasn't even going to join this. He was in no.
He
rush
wasn't.
He was in zero rush to come up here at all. That's all I have.
As soon as he seen Mercedes,
You know he got to come up here.
Was it for me? Do I still have Shonington energy? Right
Yes, you have him
yes.
wrapped around all fingers.
The bushes.
This is a man that's serious
All
about
fingers.
what he's
he's very intentional about you.
very intentional.
Hi, Shonington. It's a pleasure.
Hey, Mercedes. See, why, y'all don't got to do that. Come on, guys. I just decided to pop in and say hello for a little bit.
Hello.
Damn, Mel said dry eyes.
Jesus Christ. Merry Christmas, Good God. Well, fancy seeing you all here on this after Christmas special. Who needs friends when I got y'all? Who needs friends?
Oh, gracious. Well, Mercedes, a question again, maybe. Stephen and Devon kind of talked about their time frames. How did you feel about hearing the time frames? Because I know we heard it, like Stephen first said it first, like he can do a year. Devon rejected the 6 months at first and then went to a year. How did you feel like Devon's answer, him changing? Did you find it to be, how do I say this? Did you feel like Devon was kind of skirting around the issue rather than actually being a genuine change? Or did you feel like he was skirting around the issue rather than actually having like a genuine, like, actually, no, maybe I can do a year? Did it feel natural when he kind of said those words and changed his position?
Okay, so to me, Devon's response out of the two men seemed the most disingenuous, and I do believe that it was influenced by Stephen because Stephen was firm and gave an answer. So again, it is this pattern of elusiveness, could be, trying to see where stuff goes. And I think that again shows his intentionality. And I think that for him, like we all know, if it is the right person, you will do what you have to do. Men don't marry because they're so in love. They marry when they are ready, when they have this readiness things checked off, when they feel good and ready to go. So for him to be like, oh, a year and this and that, and he's supposed to be 1, financially stable, 2, old enough and mature and ready for an intentional relationship, and 3, you came on this show to quote unquote seek that. Yeah, you should have some answers, you know, in that category. Do you want kids? That's a yes or a no. But you see with Dom, he gave adoption, baby, surrogate, maybe. If he gives these sliding scale answers in multiple situations. So to me, I'll just say overall, he came off disingenuous, or he just don't know what he wants.
Yep, definitely hear that. Definitely feel that as well. Any more questions, guys?
How did you meet Shannon? I don't know. I didn't hear you say that on the show. Maybe I missed it.
No, they didn't give us any backstory or cute little picture time. But I met her in the 7th grade. So I want to say we were like 13 and 14 years old, and we actually met over a little boy. So yeah, so the boy and me used to date in the 6th grade. We broke up over the summer. We came and went back to middle school, and he started dating Shannon. And everybody's like, oh, it's this new girl at school who looks like you. Because you know how we look like sisters? Well, we looked even more like when we were in like middle school. So I've known her for 20 years going on.
Oh my God, that's a cute story.
Like, that's my best friend. Yeah. So we know their parents, and I mean, lives are very intertwined.
That's cute. I wish they would have gave us that backstory.
Yeah. No, like that's like my sister. That's my girl.
No, we could tell that you guys like knew each other for real. You know, sometimes people just pop up, or they purchase girlfriends or whatever they be doing for the show and friends. But I'm like, you could tell y'all were actually locked in. So I'm like, why do they not give a backstory?
Because again, it seems like this forced editing, and I like how y'all brought it up. It is a lot more group dates. It's a lot of trying to bottleneck it all at once. And I guess for me, if it appeared that I came off hard with the question, and it just didn't make sense to me, because at this point in the process, we had our connections. We were trying to fine tune them. We weren't afraid to be like, oh, we got it down to 2. I got to cut you off. You know, hey, I have to have this conversation with Jeffrey because I'm really feeling Mercedes. Hey, I have to have this conversation with so-and-so because it's decision time. And it just felt really awkward that they're still like moseying around trying to figure out what they want, or, you know, at this point.
No, I get that. I definitely get that. I mean, I'm wondering, you know, what you thought of Darius, because, you know, I wasn't sure if Darius was going to get away with this one, you know what I mean? But you have a sharp eye. You said none of them, and that's how I felt when I watched it. What was your first impression of Darius? Because of course he's a very flashy individual, you know, well kept, you know, fashionable as well. Keeps a fur on him as well. But what was your kind of
surprisingly he didn't have one on? It's surprising.
He did not have one on. Yeah,
Mercedes came with hers. Mercedes came with hers.
Please don't start.
Yeah, I came with the fur for him, and he really liked my outfit. Like it was like oh girl, I like that jacket, and now I see why, because he's had a fur on in every episode, and I'm surprised he didn't take it. But there,
I'm screaming.
Do you know what's going on right now? Why you so
Darius, I thought he gave like a pimp named Slickback initially, and
play it, Kojo.
Like I said before, I just don't enjoy people that lead with their Jesus card. It automatically puts my like, woo, you know, like, what are you leading? You know, you're leading with that to try to disarm me. So anybody that he was trying all these manipulation tactics, and I was just like, oh, okay, you're one of those. And then I was privy to some of the things he said to Shannon in their conversations. So I was like, oh, you know, like, come on, baby girl, like that's not you. And then I got to how many baby mamas helped to produce those 4 children. I didn't like the ratio. So again, they just fundamentally wouldn't allow.
What's the ratio? 5
it's more than 2.
6 to 4. No, 6 to 4.
I believe, if my memory serves me correct, 4 children, 3 baby mamas.
Yep, 6 to 4. I know it's 6 baby mamas because it's really 2 of them on the side.
Yes, and then you see how he tried to intentionally say 2 grown children and how many total? Just say you got 4 kids. We can get to the ages. It's like he tries to frame his stuff in a way that's presentable, and I don't really care for that.
Well, he's just letting you know that 2 are not on child support anymore. That's all.
Oh, okay. Yeah. But no, Kojo, I would just say fundamentally he came off manipulative. So that's my word for him. No,
shout out to you for actually spotting all 3 men that weren't necessarily interested in channel like that, because I think it was that's the conclusion. After watch, I was like, no, I don't think any of them are good for her. Do you know what I mean? But I wasn't sure if maybe like the show will kind of push you in a direction where you have to kind of like give an answer for one at least. Do you know what I mean? But when you said none of them, I was like, oh, thank God. Like, yo, because I can't lie, I didn't see anything with her.
Here's the thing with TV, they can try to force you into that. They can even try to make you have a connection, but like, let your nose be your nose. Like, you know how you're forced to, who goes with who? Well, you might not go with anything that's there, and either you have to sit there and say that, or either you want to be on TV so bad. Like, whatever your motives are, they then become clear because it's no longer love. You're either treating it one as a game and let me see if I could just make it to the end and survive. Okay, well then by the time you get to the reunion, you're done. You're a crash dummy. So I would just take it serious as much as it is for your entertainment. Like, this is your real life. Like, play with it if you want to, but you're not going to play with mine, is the way that I do it. Because, you know, this stuff has real repercussions in real life.
Internalize. Any other thoughts, guys, on this section before we move to the next couple? Any other thoughts on this section?
I just want to thank Mercedes for validating us, because several of us up here were talking about Darius's fakeness aligned with his need for incessantly wearing fur, and we got pushback, you know, from lots of folks, including the hosts that's up here giving you kudos for clocking Darius. But I just want to say, some of us were on the same page with you, but we got a lot of fighting and pushing back because we saw the facade that he was trying to present. So thank you for being in person, seeing it. And
he's good.
You know.
I mean, he's really good at first. Like he's good, but he's not great.
Child, anybody with Beijing in the front, a low and a mohawk in the back, yeah, okay. I ain't trusting.
Sean trying to still a little.
I gotta come back for that one because thank you, Sean.
Because that's not what we said. I did not talk about his character. I spoke about the fact whether you can argue about furs or not. I did not speak about his character. I said you can speak about whatever you want about him if you want to, but I'm talking about the furs. That's what I was about. But I hear you.
Oh, while we're here, Mercedes, do you know if all the fur that he's been wearing is real? They're saying that he got it from Temu. That it is real, but it's real from Temu. Did you hear anything about that? Not that it matters, but
you know, Seaway, I think the way you pose that question, I think we all know that those are not of authentic quality. I myself, I got mine from Akira. Mine's is faux fur, and I love that for me. If he is parading them as real furs, I would question that. But I'm sure he got them off of various internet sources, maybe a little eBay at Alibaba, Facebook Marketplace, garage sale, thrifting.
But yeah,
or somebody garage.
The Akira faux fur really eats if you like the style and want to be warm. Just FYI, you know, I have a couple myself. They're cute.
Yeah, they're really nice.
100% polyester, and they look phenomenal, and no animal died in the process. So, and they're cute.
And you didn't have to be vegan to wear it.
I didn't. And they eat down.
Thank you for validating. Look, my Akira faux fur pickup. But I don't know where Darius got his. Was that even like a real fox? It looked fake. It looked like a.
Thank you.
It looked
from the screen, it looked like it had eyes and fingers. But I mean, only person who probably can answer that is him and the person who received it. It looked like it had the. It looked real to me, but
taxidermy
it
stuff.
Did look
but
taxidermy, but I mean, ain't all fur. I mean, I guess if they flat fur, they not. But when you wearing a whole fox, I feel like at this point you just wearing somebody's taxidermy pet.
Okay, but that makes it even weirder. Because why we got to fake, if it's fake, then why we got to fake Fox? I mean, that makes it worse. I mean, not worse, because I'm glad if it's fake, then that means he didn't participate in the killing of the foxes. But it's just weird then.
That's what the King of Detroit does, man. You know, he just following in the footsteps of King Zamunda. He understands. Some people wear lions. He wears foxes. You know what I mean?
It looks like a Shih Tzu. It looked like a guide dog Shih Tzu, which disturbed me more. So I don't know what the crap that was.
Wow.
Somebody poodle. He said
Pomeranian around his neck, and I feel some type of way about it.
Someone's poor fake dog on there. So any other thoughts on there? Any questions to the fact that obviously longest relationship, Darius said his longest relationship was 11 years, and he said they didn't align and they went different ways. I don't know if you caught that. Darius said that in that date. He spoke about that.
Date or marriage? No. Oh yeah, he said he was never married. Oh,
he said never married.
Oh, we got big problems.
I don't think anything about anything he says. I don't think anything about anything that he says.
Obviously, I know he did an interview, but I haven't watched it, so I don't know what he said in the interview.
The question is to that: how young were they when that took place? So I'm not going to put too much on that one.
Okay, I appreciate that. Okay, cool. All right, let's move on to the next.
Shout out to Feel Good real quick though.
I was gonna, literally. We're gonna move on to the next scene, but let me shout out a couple of people then. So shout out to KIBR1225. We appreciate you for becoming a member. Shout out to Once Bite by Squirrel. Cool name. We appreciate you as well. I want to thank myself, but we want to thank Elsid because Elsid told me we can actually donate these things. I didn't even know we could donate. So, you know what I mean? So shout out to you, Elsid, for that as well with the 5 memberships. Listen, I don't know if it's coming out my pocket or not. I'll probably find out in the month. And shout out to Feel Good with the 5 memberships as well. We appreciate you. And in the spirit of our good sis Mercedes, she said it's given a pimp named Slipback.
Who are you?
My name is a pimp named Slickback.
That's right. Okay. All right. So we appreciate those of y'all who have joined us in the membership because the live has gone to members only as well. Okay. Okay. Listen, let's get into the next scene because the next scene was also quite interesting because we had another conversation that was going on and it was with Lauren and her friends. Okay. All right, I can't lie. I think maybe my toxic side coming out, but Lauren's looking a bit spicy these days. I can't lie to you. You know what I mean? I wasn't seeing it at the beginning, but I'm seeing now. You get me? But
wait, why is that toxic though? I'm confused. What's toxic about Lauren? Did I miss? Other than her having Vincent at the table.
He don't do the light-skinned women.
I know he don't do the light-skinned women's per se like that, but you know he like women's.
Because you be asking people to turn around. That's why.
Oh, the twirl around. You still on that? That was so long ago. No, now her toxic. I feel like her updated toxic trait is having Vince sitting at this table. Why is he there?
Yeah, that definitely is the updated toxic trait.
She likes to control the man. Them, you know what I mean?
She should have said no to that.
I'm willing to take a little bit of control for a while because she's fine. But let me put a sound on you.
Absolutely.
Moving on, marrying somebody.
Absolutely. I've actually seen Lauren more times than
the mother
of my daughter. Sometimes unplanned events happen and we need to shift, right? And that's what I ended up doing.
Kudos to you for stepping up.
What do you like specifically about Lauren other than her looks?
Well, the interaction being so natural and so flowing, that's
okay. So we obviously had Stephen, Bello, and we also had Vince as well, right, on the dates. And so a couple of things that were happening there, which was really interesting, right? It was a very interesting conversation on all fronts. You know, Bello was talking about, I thought he was going to say, and I was getting scared. I thought he was loading up to say he's seen Lauren more times than he's seen his actual child. And I was thinking to myself, bro, please don't say that. Like, yo, but he saved it by saying obviously the mother.
Did he? Because that baby ain't old enough to go see her daddy on her own. So I don't know why he said that, because it didn't sound very good to me. Now, unless they edit it out before the child, I don't know why he thought that was a good thing to say. Sometimes people need to just stop talking.
Oh, man.
He did say he only saw his daughter twice, and we know he's seen Lauren more than that on the show.
He did say that, yeah. He has been forthcoming about that, to be fair. Okay. So what was our thoughts on this, on Lauren and the three boys? I almost said the three Hebrew boys. With Vince, they were with Vince and what have I got? Stephen, Vince, and Bella, right? What was our thoughts around the dates, considering those people as well?
Lauren, despite her striking beauty, unfortunately has no connections. First, you have Vince that shouldn't be there at all. He called her out her name for whatever reason. He said he literally shouldn't be there. I feel like that must be a production thing that he's even there, because why is she even entertaining it? But then it seemed like she was actually quasi entertaining it. So I don't know why he was there. They probably life-wise have the most in common or at the same space in life, and maybe that's the reason why she was considering it. But that aside, it's a no. Steven is at a completely different space. She has 3 kids. Doesn't seem like she's super thrilled about starting over. Maybe she will. He has none. It's not a match. I mean, it's just not a match. And then you get to Bello, who we all know really wants Dominique, so he's just playing the game. And then he's literally talking about his child's mother and his child like a layoff meeting. Like, literally, that's the way he's kind of speaking about how he got into this situation with his child's mother, which I just don't understand how you act like something, your intention to release yourself in a stranger is an intentional act. So I don't know why he acting like he confused about how he got there and how he got there. But I think he's trying to emphasize the casualness of it so he can kind of start over somewhere. She has no connections. So, but Steven seems interested, but I don't see where it's going to go.
I agree with you. She has no connection. Steven would be the most closest to it if he had kids. If we can match Vince's kids situation with Steven, I can see that going forward. But since he don't have none, and she definitely don't seem like it, she won't anymore, especially from how the friends answered for her as well. Yeah, she's pretty much done. And that's probably why Steven be entertaining other people on this thing too, because the other people don't really have kids or whatnot. Bello, I don't know how she feels that's her top. What is Bello saying? I need to know what Bello's saying, other than selling himself like they said he a congressman or whatever, he a politician. Vince, why are you here? You called this lady a B. So why are we entertaining him? She was a tall B. We forgot about that already. I guess we weren't too offended by it. So, I'm not gonna hold too much because some people don't be offended by it. I told y'all don't be offended because sometimes I be acting like one. So you caught me on the right day. But still, I don't know. When she was shocked why the friends was like, you guys don't like, I was shocked that the friends said Vince. Like, what? He sat here and argued with y'all over his height. And I know it was a stupid little whole thing of them going back and forth, but it just shows how petty of an arguer he is and how far he willing to go to keep an argument up. Like, bruh, it's 2 inches. If they want to say you 2 inches short, okay, well, my basketball stats say it's 2 inches. I'm 2 inches taller, whatever. It ain't no need to keep arguing. I'm 6'6", 6'6". It really don't make a difference. She's taller than you, period, in her heels. It don't matter. Okay. Yeah, well, I guess we depended on where we arguing these inches at, but they were saying in his height. Okay. I don't know where he was arguing the inches at, but that just let us know how much he want to argue, and then they're gonna sit there and talk about, I think he's the best one for you. Y'all are choosing based off of her ovaries and her not wanting to have any more kids. Y'all not choosing the actual right person unless y'all know y'all homegirl be out here fighting in the wind with Negroes. I don't see how Vince was a good choice for her either. I would have preferred them to hit a Mercedes and be like, none of these Negroes, come on, girl, let's go get us something to eat and some cocktails and find us a man out here. But no, here we are.
What do you say? I have to agree with you. It's just, okay, do y'all see this too? Can we go back to what Vince, why can't Vince catch jokes or just like, I found it as a normal social like cue, and I feel like he missed it. It didn't come off argumentative to me unless I'm just not reading the room. Like, would that have been grounds for an argument from another male like you, Kojo or Sean? Like, I didn't get why he found that offensive.
I think Vince is very literal. He might be on the spectrum. I don't know, because it's the way he takes things very literal. It's not the first time he's taking things literal. So I honestly think he might, maybe he might be on the spectrum. You know what I mean? But that's just me just saying that. I think it's just the way that, because the way he takes things is very to the point. It reminds me a bit like a couple of seasons ago. I can't remember. It was Corey. Same thing, kind of energy. Do you know what I mean? They take things very literal. So that may be part of it why he does that. You know what I'm saying to you? So that's my thought process anyway.
Oh, okay. Thank you. But yeah, Vince couldn't have been there after he called me a B. I think that Steve is kind of like Mark Anthony and Jeffrey. I think that they align. They maybe would get along and they would have a good go. But I don't think it would work long term. And then who was the other one? Bello. Bello's just locked in with Dom for me at this point. So I feel like anything he does outside of that is just filling time and gaps. But they're kind of cute. I mean, I like the peanut butter and the chocolate vibe. I think they're cute aesthetically, but I didn't really see a connection with them outside of that.
Thank you for that, Mercedes. Sean?
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't feel like there's any connections for Lauren here. The closest match I see is like not so much in this particular episode, but in previous episodes, it seemed like there was more energy between her and Steven. I think Bello is just here for the plot. His main person is Dominique. He said it to her friends, but he didn't mention it so much. He didn't emphasize how much his number one wasn't Lauren in front of her friends, I guess, which is a smart strategic thing to do. But everything I've seen doesn't seem like he's really into Lauren. And Vince is just Vincing. I think he is one of those people that likes to play purposely obtuse and, errs on the side of just being, slightly difficult to avoid answering real questions, because he also did a little bit of that, I guess, when we talk about Lauren and the interaction he had with her friends. Yeah, I don't, maybe he's neurodivergent, who the heck knows, but I don't see that. I just see somebody that likes to play. His ex said he's argumentative, and it came off that way. Could the questions they were asking around the 6'2" be a little annoying? But it wouldn't be something I would waste my energy trying to argue. If I'm 6'2", I'm gonna say I'm 6'2", and if I'm not, I'm gonna say whatever I am. So, somebody asks you, they just verifying, say, yes, I'm 6'2". Yeah, and I don't mind her height. So I think all of those things could have been very easily said without delving into all the unnecessary back and forth.
Appreciate that, Sean. Elsid?
It was a great way of wasting time. It was a great way. Focus on the 6'2" and talk in a loop, and you waste time so they don't ask you deep questions. I mean, if it was intentional. But if you are my friends and you're scoping men out, you're going to focus on his height? We could just stand him up by the door and check that. Why are we focused on his height? You could focus on, are you okay? You know, if she wears heels that are taller than you, are you going to be proud? Or you going to have some kind of complex? You know, for me, the whole 6'2" thing was we wasting time. We on a clock here with production, and this is the footage we want to give them to show about us checking on some guy dating our friend. And then he's back and forth a little, some would say argumentative. We already saw him be argumentative with you know, the cooking date. So Lauren already knows that. Clearly Lauren didn't tell them about the B word being thrown around in her direction, and she forgave him. Again, we're wasting time. It was a great time waster. So if that was the intention, you know, kudos. But the friends, what did they learn really about him to match with their friend, to put him at number one? Or maybe it's editing. Maybe we didn't see, of course, the whole date. But to me, it was the banter was unnecessary. Now, my question is, why Lauren get all these individual dates? Or was it filmed that way? That's why I was having a problem. And that's why my question was early was, you know, why Shannon get everybody grouped together when Lauren clearly had individual, it seemed like individual separate dates. So that was my question with that. Yeah, Lauren's match isn't there. She clearly didn't tell the friends about Vince. Steven was doing too much. She promised she'd give me a baby girl. What? Sir, I guess for me, ready to love means ready to date exclusively. It doesn't mean ready to marry at the end of the process, but that's just me. But Steven was doing too much. As I said, my only compliment for Steven as he slid down the list for me was, you know, he wore, you know, a bomber jacket. He wasn't in the vintage large sweaters anymore. That was about it. But yeah, I don't think so. What was her other date? Was it Bello? Oh, so she didn't tell the friends. Bello said the mother of his child was not a very strong connection. So you didn't say one night stand in front of the friends, did you? Interesting choice of words. All I gotta say about Bello is choice of words. That's how, if we're going to compare, I'm sorry, Darius has a choice of words. Bello also has a choice of words that he decides to play in. So that's all I got to say about that one. But Lauren seems to get all the individual dates if it is exactly as we were shown.
All I want to say is about the height thing. I think it was the problem of they saw Vince come through the door. He clearly was about 6 even, which it is what it is. And instead of just asking, they did the roundabout kind of cheeky way of kind of checking him about him not telling the truth about his height. And they were expecting a more of a lighthearted man that plays along. And Vince is just not one of those people. He's not going to play along. As Sean said, he going to play dumb. He going to be obtuse, act like he don't know what's talk about so he can argue. And so when I was listening to the conversation, I'm like, both sides are kind of annoying me, because if you know for a fact that he's 6 feet, he ain't 6'2", you saw him walk through the door. If Lauren's okay with it because she got him sitting here, I don't even know why we're talking about it anyway. But he's also not that, you know, lighthearted type of dude. So if that's what you were looking for, you learned from this situation that he's not very lighthearted. He said he's a comedian. I'm not getting that. But you know, he's not very lighthearted. But also, I'm one of the people, I would just prefer you just come out and say, are you telling me I'm not 6'2"? Just say that. Don't ask me no silly question. So the whole conversation was silly to me.
Man, I definitely hear you. I mean, obviously, Stephen saying about, you know, he'll get a daughter out of Lauren. It looked like Lauren was a little bit surprised by him saying that, you know what I mean? I don't know if Stephen was trying to impress their friends a little bit with little something. I don't know. It was an interesting comment to make at that point in time within the conversation. It's a bit of a flex also too, you know. It's a little subtle flex, like, you said you'd give me a daughter. So I want to know what kind of conversations he's been having with Lauren in this situation. You know what I mean? Like they've been having some conversations. clearly, you know. I think he likes Lauren's dominance. I think he likes Lauren's assertiveness. I think he wants a woman that's more assertive than he is in that space. And I don't know if I'm you know, maybe silently Lauren likes that too. You know, the fact that he's not as assertive, you know, it helps us stay, you know, a bit in control in a leadership position in a relationship. You know, I think maybe that's something that they both like because they seem to be getting along quite well. Any other thoughts to Lauren, Bello, Stephen, or Vince? Any observations you wanted to add?
I just want to know why Elsa feel that he's doing too much because they got an inside joke about this baby. Because if she said it, he just like, hey, she said she was gonna give me a girl. So why is that doing too much? It's a little
She
joke.
seems shocked by it. She seemed shocked by him even saying that. Like, really? I said that?
Yeah, but even if she didn't say it, it's still a joke. It's just whatever. But when Vince over here literally arguing about the joke that the women carried on with for too long, I ain't gonna hold you. They did. But man, if you're a comedian, you should be able to laugh that off, sir. All right, ladies. Yeah. 6'2", 6'1", 6'3". I'm 5'11". I don't even care. I like this lady that's sitting next to me. There it is. But him over here talking about he dating to get to know a person. And I do know we just on this show to like find love or whatever and see where it goes, not necessarily marriage and all this stuff like that. But is that not people's end goal? Like, sir, what are we doing? Do you answer the question? Do you want to be married again? It's a simple yes or no. So we can start wasting our time with people. If I want to be married and you don't, stop wasting my time. Just say it so we can move on. Don't be sitting here like, oh, I'm just dating for a long period of time to get to know somebody. I'm just dating to date. All right. And then the friends gonna start about, this is a good person for you. Okay. I guess they just want somebody temporary for Lauren. That's what that is. They want a temporary person for Lauren because that's what Vince is good at, being a temporary somebody.
Especially, Jay, if her friends see her in a season where she does just need to get out and date just to date, because it sounds like she came out of something tumultuous, right? And you know how sometimes, you know, it's not that you don't deserve a good person, you don't deserve whatever, but you need to get out there, get your feet back wet, you know, get back in the ring and just start dating men in general. So maybe her friends see Vince as like a, you know, that, I don't know, not to try him out, but like a 2-week free trial in her dating process.
It has to be that, because I was like, Vince, really? So that's the only thing that makes sense to me is that they just choosing this man for have a little fun, girl, do your thing, and we'll go find you somebody serious after a while.
Well, then I would choose Steven. If it's a key, I'm gonna choose Steven then.
Well, she knows she really wanted to choose Bello in his one night stands of it all.
Oh, well.
Well, listen, I hear it. Steven gonna do what Steven gonna do. He gonna get himself a little daughter. You know what I'm saying? Let's move on to the next one. People out here being said, listen, let me tell you something. Ashley's fine. I'm sorry. Just gotta say it.
I believe I can.
Okay.
You know, I think that you gotta know what you like, what you love, you know, what makes you smile, how you like to be touched, you know. When Bree calls me out for not opening up to Ashley more, I can definitely acknowledge that fact based off of communication. I want to be more intentional in calling Ashley and texting Ashley, but I need to make sure that it's reciprocated. Then I know for sure, like, it's real.
But you know that represents
Ashley, Carde, Darius. You know, I mean, Carde obviously said he would call and text more. I don't know. It's a bit of. I think it's a bit of everything here. You know what I mean? Like I can see why he might say he wants Ashley to also reciprocate more before he does more. But I can also see maybe if you were interested, you would try to pursue a bit more. Do you know what I mean? So I see a bit of both. You know what I mean? It's a bit of 6 and 4s. But how did you people see it, man, with Darius, Ashley, Carde? Because I thought they mentioned about Carde not being deep, But at the same time, she also mentioned about Darius that he's not always that deep either. So I was like, why is Carde getting called out for it when, Darius seems to be the same way as well. So, and yet she's allowing herself to be kissed, touched, hugged, pulled in deep. I feel like Ashley going falling deep and probably find herself a little bit of trouble. But that's my personal thoughts. I've been wrong before. You get me?
Can I pose one more question in there?
Yeah, go for it.
Too?
Yeah, go for it.
Is anybody else still waiting for the Carde experience?
We've been waiting like an Uber.
It's the hair. It's got to be the hair.
I don't know what is the Carde experience. I've not seen it yet to see it. Don't know if we will see it. You know what I mean? Don't know if we will see it. So yeah, that Carde experience, we ain't seen it yet. So what do we think about obviously Carde, Ashley, and Darius? How do we see about that relationship? What do we garnish from their situation? Will Ashley fall for the prowess of Darius, do we feel? Oh, I'm just talking to myself. Well, damn.
Much like these relationships, we have nothing. Okay, we have nothing. All right, because what the hell? I mean, we know that Ashley still like her fur of it all, and she still want to be scammed and conned by Darius. So there's that. For me, Cardi's just another vote for the people. Everybody's just playing in the middle ground. I ain't really seeing too much outside of Bello or Darius really stepping up to a person. So, yeah, that's probably why everybody is a little lack of whatever up here right now. I don't know.
They're just lukewarm. I don't know. Nothing's bubbling, nothing's sizzling, and I don't trust Darius with Ashley's heart. Ashley seems like a beautiful person, but she also seems like she's at a very fragile state on this show in particular. Either she's fresh out the game, but she's very vulnerable. And I just feel like Darius is just lurking around her. She didn't pursue anything probably because he had her locked in from the beginning, so I just feel like she missed a bunch of opportunities to maybe pursue things that could have been better suited for her. But I know she's heading in the Darius train. She's gonna ride it. I hope she gets off after a couple of stops, because I just don't think it's gonna be beneficial to her long term.
She did try to pursue things with Ed, but Ed wasn't feeling her. Ed kind of she said, "Hey, I've been making it known I like you," and Ed didn't. But I do agree with you. Darius ain't it. But if her goal is to make it to the bridge, right now the only person she's making it to the bridge with is going to be Darius. But whether she should, I don't think so. Not unless you want to be kissing his hand like those young ladies in kindergarten, like he talked about. But the Carde experience, this entire episode was the same individual rows wrapped up in see-through plastic. That was the Carde experience this entire episode. Copy paste. It was lackluster with this one. As someone wrote in the chat, we didn't even see Ashley having that moment meeting his ex-day. So why are they kind of together? Why are they together? Here. Why did she need a second person? Because as y'all said, she is locked into Darius. She kind of is. So I don't understand why Carde is here. But again, I didn't see him in the previews. Neither did I see Devon. So I really don't know which one of them gonna miss the retreat. But there's no other connection for her at this point. As disappointing as that is.
Can y'all remind me right now, is she the one who had told Bello she was doing the therapy and all that?
Yes.
Okay, that's it. Okay, so yeah, you're right, Mercedes. She's in an open space right now. She's trying out some new things, trying out this new self of hers. Okay.
I'm screaming, not the new self.
Or it could be that in between space. You know how sometimes, and this is where we get hung up at, when you in that boredom space and you should just be working on you, it really just, it should be a self moment. And you're like, oh, I'm just gonna do this in the meantime. And that meantime hang you up for a long time. Like that's what I just don't want for Ashley and Darius. Cause you know how like you go in it with the intention of, hey, this is it right now. But like, you know, you might get into some trouble with that man. It ain't gonna be as fun as I think it's gonna be.
No, it's so here's the thing. It's not. It may be fun. It may not be the best for you, but it also will show you how far you have came or have not came. So this might be showing her how far she still has to go in her work, her self-work, if she's hooked onto this Darius and the fur of it all.
Yeah, I think sometimes we fall, you know, you see this with people with new therapy or new Christians or whatever, people be new to stuff. They get caught up and they think they got somewhere, but they really ain't got nowhere at all. And what's really concerning is the fact that her friend sat down in front of that man and also was like, this is the one for you. Now, I see why they didn't pick Carde. You know, that's fine. But I don't understand. I hope at least off camera or something, they raised some flags about what's going on with Mr. Darius. I just don't understand that. And the fact that she's been on all these dates and she doesn't see anything wrong with you know, just the vibe that he's giving shows that she just has a long way to go. She has a very long way to go. And I even see she's still commenting in people's comments trying to defend why she loved that fake fox, that Pomeranian, and why it meant so much to her. So I don't know. I don't know who she's trying to convince.
Well, the saving grace, I would say, is, you know, she did tell Bella she's currently in therapy. So hopefully, since she is in therapy, the therapist will help guide her away or let her see the light away from Darius.
You know, a lot of these therapists don't be doing that. I got some friends in therapy, and these therapists, they don't be really saying, they don't be doing that. Some of them be telling people what they want to hear, and they be coming back and they don't look. I don't know if I have a lot of faith that the therapist is gonna be doing it, but I hope maybe the therapist will.
The therapist need a job too, and one thing for sure is Darius is gonna keep that therapist employed, as long as she keep messing with that man.
You know what I'm saying? I feel because a lot of these therapists, I'm like, why I gotta tell you what the therapist should have been telling you? That's how I be feeling like these therapists ain't doing their job.
Yeah,
all these
and if
people
you
I know in therapy, they using me for therapy. Why didn't he or she tell you that?
Okay, let me then correct what I said. Maybe she needs to come on and get some coaching from Kojo. How about that?
Okay, that sounds better.
You see nothing wrong with the dead Pomeranian? No, she needs a different coach.
I got her. Don't worry about that, sis. Come over to me. We're gonna have you right. Don't worry about it, because I was right again about the Pomeranian. That wasn't real. So, you come over right here, sis. We're gonna get you right. Okay, Ashley. Mm-hmm.
Well, if Ashley is still windmilling in the chats about the fact of this Pomeranian child, yes, you still need some things, because one thing for sure, if you like something, ain't no need to be arguing with people in the daggone comment section about why you like it and stuff. Let them have their damn opinion, go on about your life and enjoy your fur. The hell? So yeah.
She said her name is Fox, and it's an inside joke, and he gave her a dead fox, allegedly, Kojo. So she's still sticking by that it's a dead fox. And, you know, she felt special because her name is Fox. She has a business that has a fox with it, and she was happy to have the dead fox because it was special.
She was correlating. You know, sometimes you do that stupid thing where you're like, oh my God, we have the same birthday. Oh my gosh, your dad and my mom, they have the same birthday. It's like fate. You know, the ones there, like, I see a fox, I see a fox, I see a fox. It must be fate kind of thing. You know, sometimes you get caught up in that because you haven't got good discernment. So you kind of use other things as a way of kind of like saying it must be destiny, it must be fate. Sometimes we do that, you know? So Ashley, you come over here.
I love when people start comparing movie scenes to people wearing actual furs and stuff like that. Like, those are costumes. Those are costume designs, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's very seldom that nowadays that they use real stuff on set because people steal. But carry on with your thoughts. Those are cute.
Listen, King Zamunda had what King Zamunda had. Okay, all right.
They also lived in Africa, and indigenous people also wore bears, but that was because they need to keep warm, and they utilized the whole bear. What was inside, they didn't still have like the guts wrapped around the neck.
I'm just saying, you've been to Detroit, you know how it is, baby. It's a dog eat dog world out there. You know what I mean?
They got AC. They got central heating. I don't want to hear that crap.
They got some walls up in there.
Kojo ain't stepped foot in the Midwest, not Chicago, not Detroit. Talk about some furs. Look, we know all about the furs too.
Well, now you about to get Seaway started on us coming to Chicago. See what you done did, Kojo.
They got the fur fridges. So in the off season, my mom would put her fur in like a fridge storage, which helps to keep it. So, I mean, but you only have like 1 or 2 or 3 good furs. Like, you're not supposed to have them in multiple colors and be like just killing the whole forest. You just supposed to have a little swag,
If everybody takes one, it's more than enough, guys. It's like, when you like someone steals from the shop and someone says, I only stole 1, and someone else stole 5 or 6. It's like, but we all stole. And if everybody stole 1, the shop will be empty. You know what I mean? So what I mean? Like, what's the difference?
You know better. You know better. You do better. Just because.
All right. When the Hannibal Lecters of the world start wearing y'all faces, don't say nothing to me, okay?
God damn.
Since we want to do the movies of it all.
We gonna chew on Kojo, put the nice muscles on a t-shirt. Be like, look at this. What you doing?
If we're in a horror movie, y'all going first before me. I'm just saying that now. So
no, you going first.
You going first. You're gonna be like, I trust the man with the fur.
Trust me, someone gonna trip and fall, and I ain't looking back. I'm sorry to tell you.
We going with the most meat. You're delectable. We're gonna start with you. First.
Why you over here? Y'all know that. Y'all know I'm going last. I'm the skinniest. They don't want none of this unless they like a little cheeks. Unless they like a little cheeks, that's all they can get off of here.
Since they want to highlight who vegan or not, let's not be vegan. You going first, Kojo.
I think I'm too muscly for it. Like, I don't think that's gonna be good meat for the person. You know what I mean?
They slow cook you, baby. That's how you tenderize that meat. You just put it on a slow cook. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be good roasting.
Katie said make it dance too. I'm screaming. We're gonna make a whole show. We're gonna parade you around like Darius did that before.
It's gonna be like that scene off of Ace Ventura when he knocked that little man out and started wearing them.
There we go. Now we done solved it. Now we can move on.
Now we've roasted me. Let's move on to the next.
Now that we roasted you.
Just turning me on a skewer. Are we finished with are we finished with Ash? What do we think about Ashley's friend, Advice? Because she liked Darius.
Not helpful.
I was scared for her, man. Sorry, what did you say?
Her friends are telling her what she want to hear. Her friends are telling her what she wants to hear. And when you have a lover girl for a friend, it's very hard to deal with them because you don't want to break their spirit, but you also want to tell them the truth. It seems like they just decided to just let her be happy, and that was it. So
sometimes y'all friends will keep you single. You got to just be careful or let you be in bad relationships because, sometimes I ain't going to even hold you. When my friend decides they want to make decisions, because I know my friends, they're going to only listen to me halfway sometimes. I'll be like, well, you live and you learn. Do you? Have at it. So a lot of these friends are just letting their friends make poor decisions. Just do it. I don't know.
If you're not gonna listen, no way. It's very exhausting trying to get your friend to reason sometimes. And so, if you already know your friend ain't gonna listen, she's stuck on this man and all he got going on. Then I don't know. Me personally, if I'm your friend, I'm gonna do my best to tell you the truth at least once or twice. If you don't want to listen after that, that's on you. But I just don't understand sitting in front of Darius and not seeing what he putting down. He don't be talking about nothing. He don't be talking about nothing. I don't get it.
10 pickings, why is that not friendship? Because I'm pretty sure we getting the edited version, so we don't know what all the friends said. But the friend could have said some stuff like, I don't like none of them, but you gonna do what you gonna do. So I'm gonna go with Darius out of the two. You know what I'm saying? And they just edited, I'm gonna go with Darius. So we don't know if the friend gave her solid advice, but I'm just saying sometimes we give our friends, like see, we said solid advice, and our friends just don't take it. They gonna do what they want to do. It doesn't make me less of a friend. I'm just gonna have to be there, be like, hey, well, we'll try again.
No, definitely hear that. Definitely hear that. Sometimes you just got to support your friends in some of their choices, and you let them love who they want to love, and you just got to put the pieces when you got to pick up the pieces. So I get it. I get it as well. You know, hopefully she doesn't fall too deeply into the traps of Darius as well. Okay, next, last two, because we've got obviously Donna and Vince and Stephen and Vince. Okay, Donna said, let's get the puppies out.
I mean, you can't really put a timeline on it, but it's kind of a timeline.
I don't mind having more children.
You don't mind having more children?
No, I don't mind. I could not have them as well, and it wouldn't bother me.
Okay.
So
You're open to the thought. Yeah.
I can't help that I met Donna at this time.
So Vince, Donna, Stephen, we know that obviously Vince is saying about having kids, he's open to it, not necessarily he's gonna do it, he's open to it. You know, he's neither here or there, he could take it or leave it in a sense. And then obviously Stephen, we know that obviously he was talking about having the last name of Donna. I don't know if Stephen's just trying to get points or whether he actually genuinely likes Donna, because I think earlier when I saw the earlier episodes, they lacked chemistry. So I don't know if that's changed. Again, storytelling could be an issue here. Didn't really see it, but yeah. And Donna was so quiet this particular aspect. She was so, you know, like she wasn't very vocal. But maybe she was allowing her friends to be more vocal than her today to be able to make some of the deductions that they need to make. How did you ladies and gents see it? I mean, I say gents, but it's just me. But how did you see it? You know, from this these interactions here. Oh, Seaway says she got it ready to go. Go for it, Seaway.
Look, I'm going to say this. I'm going to be quiet. Donna was quiet this episode because this is the result of what happens when you have spent your time being male-centered and being a pick-me and not asking the right questions. If she spent more time getting to know Vince, and this is her own words, I think I need to dig deeper and ask him more questions, and less time being male-centered, she would have known that he is so on having kids and so on getting married and uninterested. She was quiet because she was in shock. And I personally don't even know what they have been talking about this whole time, because she seemed legitimately surprised that he's not sure if he wants, you know, another kid. He would, but he ain't sure. And that his timeline on marriage seems very iffy if he's even willing to do it at all. That seems like a bare minimum conversation for a person like Donna, who feels like she's on a tight timeline and wants to move in with somebody in 6 months and all these other things. So I don't know what she's been doing. She seems like she's just trying to fit anybody into the plan that she has in her head. I don't know, but this is why you don't compete with other women, and you compete with yourself. You try to figure out what you want for yourself, and not competing with other women and not paying attention to your actual process. And that's getting to know the man in front of you. Because Vince he was like, I ain't trying to get married. I ain't trying to do all that. I ain't know about no kids. She would have known that if she was asking questions. It's my opinion.
Preach, what do you say? Preach, girl. And especially in this process, that is why I agree partially with you, Elsid, as far as, hey, don't reveal your strategy, because yeah, you're trying to get out of the initial minutia. But when it comes down to stuff like this, you do need to needle in and figure out if these people are for you. You have to ask targeted questions, and it doesn't have to be aggressive. You don't have to come in hot. You don't have to say, I want marriage and I want it right now, but you do need to put yourself in the categories. Okay, they don't want to get married. They do want to have kids. Like, I feel like they're trying to force the narrative of the show. Like, if you're not ready to get married and stuff, then people are just going to eliminate you. No, you'll just find somebody that's aligned. There are people who come on this show and they just want to meet somebody to, hey, casually date with. They're going to find that person if they're honest and have these conversations outright. And you also know if you like somebody or if you don't. You know, like, truly the way this is set up, it brings out a competitive side of you, even though there's nothing at the end of this. The prize is your connection. So make sure that whoever you linked up with is worth, you know, entertaining and having fun with, and somebody that you align with, because you don't get nothing. You know, there's no prize money. There's nothing at the end of this but your connection. So focus on that. And if it ain't here, go home, you know?
Strong words. I hear it. LCDO, any thoughts?
Shout out Emily. Vince, are you going to talk about Donna and having the girls out? I mean, are we going to have the same vim for Donna, or is it because she's your connection? She'll get a pass. You did have a whole look up, but you know, I digress. Yeah, even though,
Elsie, that is not the same. Emily, you keep trying to cape for Emily and them titties being at her chin. That is not the same.
I'm not saying they're the same. He said she always leads with it, or they are out.
These was out, but
Past
she ain't
couple
got,
episodes, they've been out.
Okay, I'll let you have it.
But if you're gonna be that, you know, vigorous about it, he need to maintain the same speed. But what I would say, they're really not talking. I know Donna said the last time with the ex made her realize she wants Vince more. Don't understand it. Don't understand it. Why would you want Vince more? And clearly y'all are at different levels in your life. Does Vince know that Donna wants to move in, you know, 3 to 6 months? Does he know the 5-year timeline? You know, again, there are different points in their life, and I really don't think that it would, you know, be the best. Donna and Steven, hey, you know, Steven giving her the last name. Yeah, Steven is just grasping and trying to, you know, throw a few kernels to everybody this episode. He was he was out of his shell a bit, but for me it was like, come on, Steven, you're just spreading yourself out thin. But yeah, I don't think anybody really is there for Donna. She wants Vince, fine. That's about as much connection as Vince has right now. But to me, it was kind of lackluster.
I guess I was supposed to say something. I really don't have nothing to say. If she want to have the girls out, let her have her girls out. That's what they made for. And shit, she was in competition with her damn friends there. Her friends had their girls out. The hell? You ain't gonna be at my table with my damn potentials with your girls out. I ain't got mine out. So what we doing, okay? So you know she had to change real quick. But I told you already, Elsie, not too much on Steven. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? He doing what he's supposed to do. You know? Just, you know, if she wants the last name, she want to be a bank, she can be a bank, you know? She can get it. I ain't gonna even hold it. I don't know why anybody likes Vince, but, you know, there's somebody for everybody. So there's that. I guess he has to find his somebody. So I'm gonna let him have it. I do still feel like they are a little bit aligned with each other's humor, should I say, and personality-wise. But do I think anybody should be dating that man that's serious about a relationship? No. Had she been asking more questions, like C-Way said, instead of, you know, taking up for him so much, she would have probably not been so surprised by some of his hesitations on answering these basic questions of, do you want more kids? Do you want to be married? Because it is simple. Yes, no. I don't mind if my woman has it, but I am good with it. I don't have to sit here and be like, and think about it. I'm pretty sure these are questions that you get in the dating world on a regular anyway, when you're actually serious. So it's like, sir, are you really serious about being with somebody long term, and especially somebody that don't have kids? Because if I recall, Donna don't have kids. So it's a chance that she may want some. So it should be some conversation that we both should be having. If I feel like I don't really want to have no more kids, I should be asking you as a man, hey, how do you feel about kids? Do you want kids? Because I might not be the one for you. vice versa. So I don't know what the heck they all these, like somebody said in the chat, they spending all these hours on the phone talking to somebody. That must be why they have connections. I don't know how y'all have connections when y'all not even having real conversations. I have these conversations with my friends. So I'm just like trying to figure out why y'all not having these real conversations. Is none of y'all serious on this show? Y'all just all got casted so we could just watch something? I guess.
I hear that loud and strong. Any other thoughts on this? Stephen obviously was talking to her as well, so saying last name and that. You get me? Like, was any thoughts around Stephen and her date and her connection? If not, we'll move to the last segment, which is the last part of the show, the part you've all been waiting for. Well, okay, so we'll move to the last part of the show. All right. By the way, I like Stephen's get-up gear. It was given urban Harry Potter, and I got to like it, so I'm never mad at it. So shout out to Stephen. I like the look. Okay, well, it's time for talking about the end scenario. Devon, Carde, and Bello, and Dominique as well.
Oh, so do you have an idea right now who's right for you? You're still trying to figure it out.
I think we're all still trying to figure it out. Yes, but I am trying to. Yes, I am trying to figure that out.
Okay, so you don't know yet. You're still trying to.
That's what the process is.
Hello, how you doing?
What?
She looks so pissed off. I don't know what Devon did, but maybe he didn't pay the right bill or something, because she looked so pissed off at him, like she was sick to death of him. The ones there, like that look is more than just what happened in that moment. Something else happened before then. I don't know if he got her a gift and it wasn't measuring. He maybe offended her. Maybe the text that he sent earlier on wasn't working. Something happened before that, because that look was a stare of death right there. You get me? So, wrong color rose is right. True. Probably wasn't petrified. But what was you lot's thoughts around this? Awesome foursome, because of course Carde, Bello were very strong in saying that they liked her. Devon, unfortunately, kind of played it coy and then got caught in crosshairs. You know what I'm saying to you? How do we see the situation? What do we get from this situation? Yeah. What do we think about this situation? This is the awesome foursome date. Yes,
what struck me was this was kind of like Devon parroting what she said on his ex date. Remember what Dominique said. She said, this is all part of the process. We're all dating everybody. He's just immersing himself into the process. Now, all of a sudden, when he says it back at that date with her friends, now it's a problem. Now it's like we're being a part of the process. Now it's a problem. So that's why I'm like, I wish I saw how she greeted him. We didn't get to see if there was a hug or if there was a standoff. We just saw he was there. Did she hug him? We didn't see that, but it does give that you done ticked me off way before this, and I'm still mad at you. But I didn't see anything wrong with what he said. I did feel like Devon felt diminished in the moment. It felt like he was shrinking. His confidence level was really low than how it was before. This is not the Devon that felt emboldened to lean in for a kiss. This was Devon that was, whoa, I'm on the bottom. It was shaky ground Devon. But again, this is another instance in my mind that, he, wants to really go after Dominique, but it's not looking good for him. He gotta figure it out that she's not giving him back the same energy like she does with Bello. And he knew that even from going to her house when she cooked Bello's food. He should already know that. But he keeps on saying, Dominique, that's my boo. Dominique, that's my boo. Well, you know what? Your boo is saying boo-hoo. Your boo is saying bye. This ain't it for you. So, and then to try and pivot and say, oh, Carde is sitting over there. That's my girl. And it shouldn't matter where you sit in the room. If that is your woman, everybody would feel it. Everybody would know it, no matter where you are in the room. So Devon has just kind of like shrunk himself, and now he is kind of like self-sabotaging with the way, the energy, and how he is behaving. But he just gave back the same words Dominique used in his ex state. And now now all of a sudden the words aren't accepted by her. Very interesting.
Thank you, Asif. Any other thoughts, ladies, on Devon and, his mini shutdown?
I'm not going to disagree too far from. I'm sorry, was Mercedes going?
No, no, hit it up.
Okay. I'm not going to disagree too much with what Elle said on the thing. I'm just going to add this to it. That whole attitude thing was an ego hit to Dominique. You know what I'm saying? I got this man who is not even my top connection, and he going to be like, he don't know about me? You sitting at this table and you don't know about me? Because it was giving, you're embarrassing me in front of my friends. I done told this man how I got you wrapped around my finger, and my friends how I got you wrapped around my finger. Now you're not sure. But it's in all fairness, yeah, I'm not sure. Last week you're telling me we're all in this process and we still got to be in this process. So yeah, I'm still in my process too. What's wrong with that? So that's why there's this attitude there, because I could be in my process as Dominique, but you can't as Devon. You're supposed to just be all about me. You're supposed to be like Bello and Carde, which Carde still is not even all about you. But because he sits here and tells you in front of your friends that he is, it's okay. So that's what all that attitude was, is that you just supposed to love me out loud and stuff. It's like you're telling him to love you out loud, but the other man, Bello, that you love so much, says he don't do PDA. Now, granted, yes, he do give you them kisses because you started that. But them kisses is still on the little slide on the low and stuff like that. He not from coming to the table in front of everybody and smushing you down and stuff like that. When the other ladies around, he's not doing that. He literally said in front of you and the other ladies, I don't do PDA. So which one is it? Do he do PDA or he don't? You want a scammer? You don't. You want a liar? You don't. You know what I'm saying? You want a man who is telling you how he actually feels right now? I'm not really sure, because you're not really sure about me. Or you want somebody that I'm sure about you, but as soon as something, give me a one night stand, I'm gonna go ahead and take that too. Hey, do your thing. You know what I'm saying? Do your thing out here. I'm not your friend, so I ain't got to give you the sound advice. I'm not your soulmate. I ain't none of these things. So, you listen to who you want to listen to. But, if they don't get along with your friends, I do understand, because your friends will be there longer than a lot of these men and stuff. But I just didn't think she needed to go as hard as she was going and stuff like that. And then the way the editing looked like it was the other man was sitting at the table while she was going this hard. So I could see how his confidence is shrinking and diminishing and all this stuff like that. Because it's either he's going to shrink and diminish, or he's going to be that other side, which we don't really need to see on TV and stuff. So I don't know. You're belittling a man in front of his peers, his competition, and your friends. I don't know what you expect out of him at that point. He gonna be defeated.
I think she definitely took the air out of his balloon. She popped it, and she did it on purpose. I think that she came in very hot, and the friends were on assignment. But I do kind of want to come on the left of this situation, though, and maybe say she was just trying to put him down. You know what I mean? And sometimes if you've been given subtle hints, hey, because everything that you said about their interactions is lighthearted, yet he comes harder because he's perceiving that as a green light. Hey, all right, so she responded to that, so I'm going to keep coming, where she's like, oh, she's sunning him, and we all see it and we think it's cute, but he may be really pursuing her. So a way to put that down, if they're not reading the hints you're throwing, you got to do it in public. You got to be nice, nasty, and you got to cut it off, in a way where he just won't come back around. Because again, I think her and Bella have been locked in from the beginning, whether he's playing into it on camera or not. That's her man. All the girls know about it. The girls knew that they had to bark down because the king and queen of the show have been picked. Like, they're it. They have to do this. They got to do the pleasantries, And again, yeah, people look good with other people, but they're locked in. They're, at least from my opinion. Whether it's a solid lock-in, we'll have to stay tuned and figure that out. But I don't know. I think she was just putting him down like one final time. And it was bad. I mean,
Can we hit the dark arts of this too? Oh, say what? I'll let you go. See where you want to go first before we go.
Oh, not the dark arts. You know, I'm not good with the dark arts.
No,
I
that's
mean,
why I
I
said you
guess
want to go before.
yeah, I guess I'm somewhere between Mercedes and you, Jay. When I saw it, I felt like it didn't hit me that maybe she was putting him down, but now that I hear that, I can see that as being part of it. I do think, but 70% of it, I really just have to say, this is the tale of what I was talking about earlier. People are not in the same, they're not hidden in their weight class. And when you already are dealing with or allowing someone that's not in your weight class, and I'm going to clarify, I don't think Dominique feels like, what's his name? What's his name?
Devon.
Devon. I don't feel like she feels like Devon is in her weight class. And so when Devon did that woo-woo, maybe, could have been, should have been, I feel like it was an ego thing. I think she was like, how dare you? Maybe she was going to put him down anyway. But it's like he's sitting at the table acting like he got options. And she had to remind that man that you're not even in my weight class. And Devon is only in this situation because he wasn't punching in his own weight class. So to me, that's what it read to me. And I feel like it was an ego hit and she had to remind him who the F she was and who he was. That's what it came across to me personally. And yeah, it ended up how it ended up. Because you can't say you want this man to love you out loud when you don't even want him. I was confused.
That part right there. So in the dark arts of it all, here's what happens when you get to playing these games and you get to toying with people's hearts and stuff. And like Mercedes said, you're going to have to eventually put them down, especially when your actual choice or your top choice. I don't want to say that. What is that man's name? What is his name?
Bello.
I don't want to say that he's her actual choice because I don't really think she likes really any of them too much. But for the show purpose, he is more likely to be chosen by her. And so when this person comes around and you've been playing in the other one, leading him on, telling him all these other things and all this stuff like that, to keep it cute in front of everybody, or if that person that you like has told you, hey, I can't tell that you really like me because you keep telling everybody else the same thing. Now I got to embarrass this one in front of you to keep it. Now, I don't know if the embarrassment, because like Mercedes said, and with her and Shannon, they had a whole thing where they were one-on-one. But from the editing, it do look like the embarrassment was in front of everybody. A little, at least part of it was. So I'm not going to hold too much. But if it was in front of company outside of her friends, the dark arts of it all is I'm trying to impress this other option that I have over here. So now I got to put you down so it can look good to this one over here.
Oh, it definitely was, Jay,
nice.
because remember he says you got Carde is sitting next to my girl. So they were there. They were all there together. That was part of the problem.
Even Carde commented, I think he said, I didn't feel bad for Devon at all because like basically he walked himself into this situation. And again, I think it is that, because think about it. If I presented, you to my friends as a simp, right? Man, I got this simp that's all on me. He be like, I could have him eating peanut butter out of my toes tomorrow. Watch this girl. And he come out and he's like, oh, I don't know. He gave the answer that he gave at Shannon's date. I have four options and I'm going to behave as such. And you're just one of them. Like, she's gonna put him down, it's
Do we know which date came first?
That's my girl.
No, I don't know, but usually they have the crews will at least shoot 2 dates on the same day. So if I had to guess, if he wasn't wearing the same clothes, so they either shot it before or after, because Devon was on both Shannon's and my date, and they have them run from one to the next.
I'm wondering if it could be, if it isn't an interaction between him and Dom that caused this, maybe it was that he knew he was obliterated on the date with Shannon. And then now all of a sudden I got to go to this date with Dom and he can't, get himself all self-regulated and back to being chipper again because he was called out on the Shannon date.
See, but I wouldn't even have called it being called out. I would say I would have adjusted my playbook, you know, if you want to call it strategy in a game. Okay, how can I be forthright and still, you know, say that I have interest in other people? Because other people are remaining on the show and they're managing to do that. And it doesn't come by deception. It doesn't come by being elusive. It doesn't come by being aloof. It doesn't come by, you know, not presenting, you know, and, you know, doing one thing and doing another, you know, being a simp behind closed doors and whoop wop. And then when you show up, it's like, you know, I don't have it for you. Because that is kind of confusing, whether she was going to put him down or not. That polarity with women, like, nah, they don't like that. Or at least I particularly don't like that polarity.
I just feel like as a man, it's your job to pursue and figure out who you want. Like, you're supposed to be pursuing. That's your role. And if you're over here pissing around, oh, I may want Tisha, Alicia, Ashley, Serena, like, you don't know who you want. To me, no, what woman wants an indecisive man? I don't even know what strategy that's supposed to be. I understand you don't want to fully lock in, but your number one should know in some way, shape, that that's, you know, that they're your number one. That should be clear. If I was on the show, I may not need to announce it out loud, just like Bello does not announce to everybody Dominique is his number one, but everybody knows it. Like, everybody knows that.
He says it in the men's lounge. Bello. He'll does
say it in the men's lounge, but he still, you know, tries to make the other women feel special. And the other women, they seem to fall in line. If they want to keep pursuing him, they do. But I just feel like as a man, you need to pick a side.
Well, we know Devon ain't picking sides. He's sending, you know, giving gift bags and Cash App and stuff like that. He's spreading himself thin.
So I don't feel bad for him either, because I don't feel bad for simps and tricks, because he's been spending money, sending money this whole time, trying to buy people, and instead he needs to stick to the rivers and the lakes that he's used to. I don't know what possessed him to believe that he was gonna be running in the same lane as Dominique. Dominique looks like she eats dudes for dinner. She looks like this is fun business. She don't even want Bello for real. Where did he get that audacity from? I'm actually glad she put him down, because he needs to humble himself and try to find a person in his lane.
Or he just needs to take ownership of the trick persona, you know, and walk in confidence. And I think that, I mean, that might sell him, you know. Big Daddy Trick Devon, that sounds nice.
Right, or just be a trick and own that, whichever you want.
No, I definitely hear you. I definitely hear you, ladies, as well. And I think, you know, it'll be a lesson for him, you know, because he probably did trick his way into some level of position with him and, you know, Dominique in some shape or form behind the scenes, maybe as well, because we know he did that with the other lady, Christina, which I didn't understand why he would do that. You know, and, you know, unfortunately, you know, when you play a pawn, you often can be used as a sacrifice on the board. You know what I mean? So this is, you know, this is why I don't know, maybe I'm seeing the dark parts of it all, but I'm leaving him aside, because there's no way you gonna turn me out without you being turned out. There's no way. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, like, you know, like, that's my insurance policy. And that's how I know, because I'm not playing this game with you, and I'm going to be here looking like a fool in front of all these people. You know what I mean? And it's funny because, you know, it reminded me of Devon's situation. It reminded me of something that happened to me in university, right? There was a particular girl that I was talking to, and we were just cool, right? But we used to flirt a lot, right? And she blasted me in front of her uni friends, talking about how I want her and, you know, I can't get it. Da, 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 da. You know what? I was so embarrassed. But something about me is I don't like getting beat like that. You get me? You know? And so something came out of my mouth that probably shouldn't have come out. You know, because she had a boyfriend at the time. And I said, but wait, don't you have a boyfriend that you're letting me flirt with you? Should I show the texts? And that was the end of the friendship. So, you know, you have to recognize that you can't allow people to play with you. That's what I'm trying to tell you. You know, you should always have one loaded and rocked and ready, so that if they decide to come out of pocket, bada boom, bada bam, bam. That's just me in the dark arts. You know what I'm saying to you? That's how I play. and this is probably me being very calculated. That's how I play things. It's like I can't allow you to have one up on me. So in this situation, if I'm Devon, I'm not allowing you to play that game with me. You know what I'm saying to you? Like I need to have something in my back pocket. Yes, I'll say it.
You mean like thank you for letting me meet your mother on FaceTime that time?
I mean, he did try that one. He did try that one still. Yeah, he did try that one, but I don't know if that wouldn't be something I would be excited about, me meeting your mom. Do you get me? It wouldn't necessarily, it has to be something that incriminates all of us. Do you get me? Like, you know, so that I can be like, wait, hold on a minute. Weren't you saying X, Y, and Z this time? But you telling me all of this kind of stuff. Don't tell me to like for instance, when you said about what she said the last X date, that would have been my trump card. I'd have been like, wait, sorry, don't ask me to care about what feelings I should have right now when you were telling me about my ex. That's what I'm talking about. You have to have a little sign oomph about you, and he doesn't have that. So you normally get used when you're in that position because you don't have that energy about you. Do you know what I'm saying to you? So, hey, man, if you're a pawn in the game and they use you as a sacrifice, what can I say? You know what I mean? It just can't be me. You know what I mean? Any other thoughts, ladies, on this interesting topic?
Devon is gonna die on his hill, and I love that for him. You know, good luck, my guy.
I think he'd be perfect for you, Mercedes. I think he's a trick. He'll spend. He'll care about you.
Now, why would you ever do that, Kojo?
Goodbye.
You know the deacon is waiting for Mercedes. Come on now.
Wow.
Nah, Devon goes spend some cash now.
Well, while the deacon
gonna
is
take care
waiting
of
for
you.
Mercedes, let Mercedes cash out. Get it, sis.
Clock it.
You know what, Trey? What do you say? No, thank you.
You already know he gonna have some stipulations and rules with his money. He'll owe Scissor Daddy tight.
That's what he said. I ain't gonna have no freedom.
No, I totally get it. Any other thoughts, guys, on any other thoughts, ladies, on this situation? You know what I mean? Like, we saw Bello, obviously, he seemed very calm and collected. He seemed to be very, very chilled in that date. I don't know if they edited stuff, but the way the friends came at Devon too, maybe I do kind of agree with Mercy. Like this seemed like a strategy plan to kind of like cut him off. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you don't read the signs, and sometimes you just got to let him loose. You know, like Jack in Titanic, you just got to let him loose.
He should have known the signs when she made all of Bello's favorite foods, but he still sat in that kitchen saying, "I want you." I mean, he should have read the signs, but he, as you said, he could have come back and tell her, "Hey, I have no more connections than you do. You have 3 people sitting here. I had 3 of y'all sitting there meeting my ex last date." But Devon ain't coming quick with the comeback. But again, as I told y'all, my toxic trait is I wish Devon stays so he could watch Bello and Dominique navigate the retreat. That's my toxic trait. Carde can go home, but either way, I know I didn't see Carde or Devon in the previews.
Yeah, and see either of them, to be honest. Yeah, true that. Probably they're trying to make sure that we don't judge what happens next episode. But you're right. I mean, like I said, if Devon just needs, like I said, he needed a trump card in the back pocket, man. He doesn't play the game very well, and that again goes back to a trick persona. You've got to have a little oomph about you, okay? The ladies, especially if you're going to be shooting outside of your league a little bit, you got to have a little trump. Yeah, he was shooting outside. We already know he was, okay?
Really? His ex was gorgeous. I mean, he's used to...
I'm not saying his ex wasn't, but Dominique is more than just a look. She's also got a very solid game about her. Do you know what I mean? So you got to be a solid player if you're going to enter that fray. She's not just a pretty girl and just, you know what I mean? She has experience in handling men. Do you know what I'm saying to you? Not in that way, but like making sure that they know how to be, maneuvered in the way that she needs them to be maneuvered. So she ain't an easy game player. So, you need some experience if you're going to go up against someone like her. So, well, he will listen, he will learn, I'm sure, in that space. And, he'll hopefully, learn a key lesson here. I'm sure if he talks to the sisters on the panel, they can educate him on some game. Any other thoughts before we bring it to a close? Any other thoughts? No? Okay. Well, listen, the deacon isn't here, to give us a little closing remark, but the deputy is here to give off those closing remarks. Seaway.
Oh, I got okay. Well, mine is gonna be mine is gonna be short. For me, I think the moral to the story is if we're gonna be ready for love, we're gonna have to be ready for love. We're gonna have to be in tune with our star player and actually be dating for the things that we need out of life. You need to focus on your actual needs and not your wants, not your competition with other women, with other men, but really be dating for your desires and be dating for what would actually fill your cup. And whether that's Donna and her situation with Vince, whether that's Lauren, whether that's Ashley with the situation with Darius, I think you have to be looking for these red flags and actually be looking for your core values and if that aligns with the people that you're across from. For the men on this show, I have to say, you guys had an opportunity to really date some beautiful, it seems like wonderful, nice, kind women, and you're fumbling. You're fumbling by scamming. You're fumbling by lying. You're fumbling by tricking. You're fumbling by being violation of PETA. You're fumbling. There was a huge opportunity here to really date some nice women. And I don't understand why there's so much dip on your chip, but there's still time left. I do hope that you guys evaluate this situation and truly be ready to love. That's all I got, Kojo.
Thank you very much. Yo, it is scary how the deputy sounds just like Deacon. They have the same cadence, the same tone, same pace, even using analogies. It's kind of scary. You know what I mean? Powerful. I love it.
I'm screaming.
Y'all spend way too much time together. I need to start learning from Sean myself. God damn. I tried to do it last time. It didn't click. So thank you very much, Deputy. We appreciate you for filling in and giving us a great benediction as well. Well, listen, the audience, it's been amazing. Good conversation all round. We'll be back here obviously next week. I think by then we'll obviously be in the new year. So look, I probably won't see you live before then. So unless you're on TikTok, so make sure you guys, you like, you share, you subscribe. But before I go, of course, I've got to read out some of the, I think some people obviously joined as well as new PAN members. So let me quickly read out the new members. Okay, 2 of them, fantastic. We've got Robin Nelson 6564. Thank you very much. We appreciate you for joining the membership as well. We've got back Tommy Roots 9811 as well. Shout out to you for joining the membership as well as in that space. Let you guys know, obviously you have seen it on the community page. We've dropped some new merch, t-shirts wise. It's in alignment with those who coach with me. So around our brand, which is growth, transformation, and healing. So if you do coach me, you already know the motto: growth, transformation, healing. I've got some t-shirts and some hoodies for you guys as well. Okay, all right. For those of you who are trying to reach me out for coaching, I'm not taking any more new clients until March. I need a break. I ain't gonna lie to you. My brain is frazzled, bro. All year round we've been coaching, so I'm just gonna stick with the people that have been coaching with me, and then we'll take on some new people in March for you as well. Because I know some people have messaged me in between that time as well. So thank you very much, audience. It's been amazing. 2025 has been amazing. It's been wonderful. It's been great to be able to be a part of this community. And you guys get to see next year with myself, by the grace, going into 2026. The Lord's going to do some crazy things. You know what I mean? So I'm ready for the shift. But before I do, I know El Cid and Seaway are doing some amazing things on their platforms. So they can just let us know what they're doing and how we can also support them as well. El Cid?
I was just about to say Seaway, just like she was doing to me earlier, but
I hear it. She been sending you to the gallows.
I am El Cid 932 on YouTube. I'm covering Love is Blind. I just did a live today about All's Fair. Tomorrow is my 50th episode of Unsolicited Advice, where we give advice to those who have asked for advice of the internet. So it's time for us to get wild. I do have a membership We do get Wild in a membership on Mondays at 8:00 p.m. EST, and Unscripted on Fridays. It's whatever the chat wants to talk about. We talk about on Fridays, but LCID 932, you'll find from there TikTok and all that good stuff, and Instagram as well. Thank y'all.
Love that. Thank you. Seaway?
Mine's it's Seaway's World Esquire on all platforms, mostly TikTok and Instagram. I mostly cover sports, women's sports, all sports. I've taken a bit of a break this month because I've been in my coaching bag. So I've been coaching girls high school basketball. So I've been a bit busy if you see a break on my platforms, but we're going to be back in the new year. But yeah, if you're into sports and where sports intersects with some of the stuff that we talk about on here, make sure you follow me on It's Seaway's World Esquire on all platforms.
I love that. Thank you very much, Seaway and LCID as well. Maybe we'll have one more live on a Tuesday night, not on a Wednesday, because I know it's Christmas. Sorry, it's New Year's Eve, so I definitely won't be there on a Wednesday. But Tuesday night I can do on the 30th, going to the 31st. I mean, we'll do a little open panel. Myself and Jay have been doing Wednesdays. Been good conversations, as well. So might switch it to the Tuesday just for that last one before the end of the year. So we've got one more. So before 2026, it's nice to kind of congregate together. You know what I'm saying? But yes, Mercy, I say Mercy, but Mercedes, thank you for joining us. Jay, thank you. LCID, Seaway, thank you very much. Audience, it is that time of the night. It's sad that we have to leave you. It is very sad, but we got.